And our guest next week is Satan.
Welcome to another episode 36. I'm Burger Podcast. Yeah, we got our usual suspects here. We got Mr. Ryan Talmo, Courtney Banks, Theo Manhattan.
Hey,
I'm Burger, and we got a wild show. I think we got a lot to talk about.
This is one we were talking about last week.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, I want to get to that, the list and everything, and I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
The suspense has been built.
Well, I've had a lot of people hit me up, and
Because you teased the fuck out of it.
Well,
It was like
no,
a girl.
but-
You took a girl out to dinner, and you were just waiting. People were just waiting to get fucked.
Well, yeah, right.
Well, yeah.
They're like, I put in all this work.
There it is. So we'll get to the list, and one of the things I want to talk about was, God, why do I always forget her name? Chelsea Manning. Thank you.
Or was
I
it
can read
Monique?
mine.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm unaware, and I think a lot of America isn't aware that Chelsea Manning was born a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was served in the military. Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I was with you.
Transgender.
I didn't know that.
And
Chelsea's
Chelsea's a
Man.
Manning. But it changes nothing for me. Still a superhero.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable, But, yeah, served in the military. I think might have even been a Green Beret. I looked at the uniform. I don't know. But some serious shit there.
but pretty well ranked.
Yeah, and so comes out and basically leaked a bunch of stuff, right?
Did Chelsea become a woman after she served?
After she served, she became a woman. I don't know if it was in jail or it was before jail.
Before jail.
I think it was
the
before because
transition.
she.
Interesting.
Chelsea.
Even cooler then.
Yeah.
Cooler. And so I think it's, but the problem is people are saying trans hero. Like she's a trans hero. No. She's a hero.
Yeah. Why does
But
it have to be? That'd be like if a
Overall
black person, then they'd be
universal
like,
hero.
"What a black hero!"
The
Like
first
it's a
black
patriotic
person,
thing.
The first black person. No. How about just okay?
First person who did
He
that.
broke the record for black runners. How about every runner? Just whoever wins. But they, quickly. I was talking to my wife about that because one thing white people always do, and as a kid I did it, which was, well, what if I had a black all-white fraternity? What if I did an all-white station? We did. They're called everything that isn't.
Everything generally.
Everything on TV that isn't specified something else is white.
Right.
All the award shows, the Oscars is white Oscars. Now it isn't anymore so much, but meaning there was a time when it was the white Oscars.
Oh, you weren't even allowed
they
to
needed-
be whatchamajig from Gone with the Wind. What was her name? I
Drama
didn't
from
see
the
it.
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, she was
Carmen O'Hara.
No, the
No.
black woman. She was nominated for an Oscar and she wasn't even allowed to go.
She won the Oscar actually.
And then they had to
She won Best
protest for her
Supporting
death.
Actress.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So,
So
and she was the very first one.
yeah.
And so that was the thing. But yeah, so it's like, yeah, I get it. But so I don't like the fact that they're calling her a trans hero. I think she's just a hero for what she
in general.
did.
Yeah.
I think one of the greatest things Obama did in his entire term was to pardon her. I think that was a cool move. I give him full credit for that.
She was due to serve 35 years.
She shouldn't have done 35 minutes.
No.
And
then Obama, one of his last moves before saying bye to the Oval Office was like, by
Bye.
the way, you're
Right
not a
before-
traitor anymore.
Yeah.
We're commuting
Yeah.
you down to basically 6 months.
I would have respected him so much more if right in the middle of his term he went, no, hell no. Get her out of jail.
Yeah.
That's American. That's what America's
Well,
about.
maybe it's probably one of those things though where people don't expect you to do like almost like a Hail Mary at the end.
Yeah.
Because everybody's tired. They're like, he's got nothing left, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I got this.
Plus,
you guys aren't paying attention.
Why are Americans calling her treasonous when she's revealing secrets about what we're doing?
Well, that's what we talked about was you
To the
can't be
people.
treasonous if you
Yeah,
are
they looked up to
telling
you.
the American people
Right.
what's going on. You are patriotic.
You're Robin Hood
Because-
for information.
Pretty
Well, our
much, yeah.
patriotism does not go to a piece of land. It goes to people. American people. This is not America's or America. We are American people because we call ourselves that.
Yeah.
So the patriotism has to be toward the American people. Treason would be against the American people. What she did went against the government wanting it coming out, but was for the American people.
But that's like the most American thing you can do, because the way that our government is
Yes.
even set up, the way the documents are written, it says if the government isn't working, you should overthrow it, and people are supposed to be representatives of you. So it's
Yeah.
like if they're not doing their job, we have every right to expose them. For not
Well,
doing their
that's
job.
when the country was a lot smaller. Now
For
the
sure.
country is a lot bigger, and we there's
We
too much
didn't-
going on.
We didn't
Yeah.
foresee a lot.
So
Guns.
so everything about overthrowing the people that are in the government, it's harder now because they
Yeah.
actually have
Yeah,
more
there's
control.
There's more red tape to get even.
Yeah, to get through.
doing
I mean, you can get what you want to get done if you can, but everyone talks about talk to your representative, all that kind of shit. They don't care.
No,
Yeah,
they
I
no.
don't know how
And
much of it-
unless you can make a stink or you can bring up some publicity on it, nothing matters. And we are being lied to so much. Just an example of the Porter Valley Ranch people, or Porter Ranch, which I mean, I have got to say, if you're going to take out a place, hell yeah. But that said, there's still human beings.
I'm
Yeah.
not
They
familiar
still
with
matter.
what that is.
Porter Ranch is up in the valley,
valley.
way up in the hills. They have their own private golf course. Those motherfuckers at that piece of shit golf course made me buy $60 goddamn shorts because I couldn't play in my jean shorts. And I was playing with my buddy and his rich family.
You can't play in
and,
jean shorts.
And so, and so he made me do that. And then at the end
God.
of the thing, I returned them. I said, they suck. And he was going to say something. I was still about 200 pounds at the time. And I told him, hey, bro, do you not have a return policy here? He's like, well, yeah, but no. I want to return them now.
I don't want
Oh,
them.
my buddy's dad thought it was so goddamn funny because he's self-made, and so he thought it was hysterical. But yeah, fuck them. But at the same time, there is a massive rate of people getting cancer and dying of cancer right now from the gas leaks that were going on up there. Completely not reported. A lady just died, but other people have been dying. Totally underreported. They're keeping it low key. All this stuff because you're talking about millions and millions of dollars, and you're talking about lawsuits into the trillions because the leak was covered up at first.
Yeah.
And they lied about everything along the way. So
Because what was leaked was information about the atrocities that we've committed on other countries and
Wait.
foreign entities.
Wait, what?
you're talking about with Manning.
Yeah, we're talking about the gas leak.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, we're at Porter Ranch.
Okay, you know what?
I
That's
thought
right.
the WikiLeaks.
That's
But
right.
you know
yeah.
what? Combining the two, it's like information is like the only way to keep people from really holding people accountable anymore. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like somebody there has to be able to go, I have this information and I'm going to put it to somebody so something can get done. Otherwise, it's like everybody's just lying to cover their ass and they're okay
Nonstop.
with it because they're all benefiting from it.
And that's the problem with it is we allow for people to cover things up, to hide things. And if anyone's pointing it out, there's 100 other people. If I say to you, hey, this, and this, like, oh, this was a cover-up. This was to take misdirection. But, possibly, like, this seems like it could have been a misdirection.
Yeah.
And then 10 other people follow up that post or follow me up in the conversation, or mostly in a post or a statement, things like that. And they're like, yeah, that, and Trump's an alien, and Obama was, from France, and, and all this stuff. And they make it so crazy that everyone just dismisses the
It's
whole
hard
thing.
to find the thing that's true.
They make it so extreme that everyone goes, oh, conspiracy.
It's like shit talking. It's like when you shit talk somebody and you start. I think shit talking is like a hint of the truth with nothing but exaggeration because you're so pissed.
Yeah.
So it's like you can conflate the whole thing to make it bigger, and people are like, whatever.
Well,
Yeah, and that's what they do.
It's that, and it's also gaslighting because that is something that we all do now through social media. So
What's gaslighting?
gaslighting is kind of like I'll keep telling you like you're a terrible comic. Like
Okay.
I'm not a terrible comic. No, you're a terrible comic.
It's based off of a movie in like
God, I
the
wish
50s
someone
or
would tell me
40s.
It's a film noir film, but it's
They
about
were
getting
in-
in your head,
yeah, they were in the
and you're
gaslight
like,
edition.
I'm right, you're right, I'm wrong, and you create these stories that don't even exist.
Well, he wanted to send his wife to like the loony bin, and so he gaslit her. So he would like dim down the lamp, and she would go like, "Oh my gosh, it's so dim in here," and he'd be like, No, it's not at all.
So you just made her seem crazy.
Yeah, so
Wow.
and she'd be like, "Oh, wasn't that over there? Don't we usually have?"
And
And we'd be
people
like,
b-
And
"No."
she'd argue with fact, and his defense
Right.
was nope.
Nope.
Right.
This is what's going on.
That's
Like,
what
oh,
my
I just
God.
told my wife that. I go, you know your defense for things? And a lot of people's defense for things are nope. And you can't battle nope.
you can't.
So if I go to you, wait, there's marks there from where it was. Nope. No, those are something else. Yeah, but they aren't. No, yeah, they are. And that's a lot of people's argument in life is no.
Just no.
No,
No.
there is, yeah, and so people just roll over, and they're like, all right, well, this is what it is. This is how it is.
Oh, my ex was the
Well,
greatest at that. Yeah.
Well,
Nope.
Also, it's like because then if you're the sane person using facts, what ends up happening is you get so frustrated because you're like, no, I know that. So then you start to
Why are
become.
you so mad?
You look exactly.
down.
Calm down.
Look,
okay.
can't we agree to disagree?
You're like,
yeah,
no,
only
that's-
when you're wrong.
That's not where it was.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
easy
makes
to
you look
agree when
crazy.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever notice how when you're right, we can't ever agree to disagree? You know, it's like I go, nope, and you go, fine, fuck you. Wait, how do you still win this? And I realized it's because I don't know. That's the problem. It's just nope, but that's like if I tell someone, hey, this Manning thing is a real eye opener. A lot of these things, you know, this Assange, all these things. Please, like we got to wake up. Our food is being poisoned. Our water is being poisoned. We are being lied to all the time. Nothing got fixed in Flint, Michigan. All
Flint
this
Ridge,
shit,
maybe
Flint
too.
Ridge. Yeah. Flint Ridge, Rock Ridge. I love Blazing Saddles. But anyway, no, nothing got fixed over in Detroit. All these things are still going on, and we're going, hey, what the fuck? No, it's fine. Nope, they're crazy. Nope, it's wrong. No, the guy wasn't blown up on Melrose, even though there was a fucking explosion mark under the car on the ground. Like, they couldn't get it out. They got it out, but that first night, they couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
Who got exploded?
What was the dude's name? Why can't I think of it? He was blown up right here on Melrose about
What's it
2 years
exploded
ago.
like that?
Oh, he's like a Hollywood, not Asian guy, but
No,
he's
he was a
he's a young guy.
He was leaking shit.
He was leaking shit,
Yeah.
and his car just blew up.
He hit a palm tree, and his car blew up. But the problem was the explosion mark
was before the
on the
crash.
ground.
Was on the
No,
ground,
it
yeah.
was on going down.
Yeah.
So a
As if
car
it was
blowing up
being-
would blow up.
Oh, Burger,
An
you
explosion would hit down and then up.
know who else got dismissed of charges and everything was Julian Assange. Sweden dropped his rape charge.
Sweden did. Yeah, but we're still after him.
But he's helping.
I mean, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't get it. These people are like saying, hey, wake up. And we're going, stop it. We're going to watch a movie about a guy who wakes people up. You know, I don't have time for you right
Easier
now.
to digest.
Yeah,
Well, I
wait.
think it's like you just wear people down. It's like, you know, I think that like with a lot of movements we've seen even recently, it's like people are really passionate about them for a little bit, and then maybe some small things will change, but not anything big, and they just are like, oh, we'll wear them down. They'll get tired before they keep pushing.
Resist. Keep resisting, guys.
That's-
They feel it. No, they don't.
No.
They don't give a
That's the thing,
shit.
no. And you know what it is? As long as they keep everyone separated on their own fights, nobody's going to fight one human fight for our own health,
No.
our own safety. It's unbelievable what we've allowed in so many places and how we've portrayed other places and been lied to about what goes on there.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, when people say dumb Americans, that's kind of what they mean. We're dumb to what really goes on in the world. Mm-hmm. You know, we're sitting here thinking everyone else is digging ditches and eating dirt. Well,
'Cause
we're
we're
just living it up.
egotistical. We're like, we're
but
the
none of us
best.
are. We've just been
We're
told
the
that.
best.
We've been told that, and all of us go, yeah, those people suck. Yet all of us are saying it. So who sucks?
Yeah.
But we all just kind of subconsciously have that in our head that, you know, the rest of the world is shit and we're in a one free country and everyone else is in a straight line marching. You know, and it's insanity when you think of just everything that goes on. If you look at Israel and you ever see all of Israel, you see one of the most beautiful landscapes ever.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, there's parts that smell like dead Palestinians. So what?
There are
You
parts
hold
that
your
smell
breath.
like pea
No.
shit here.
Yeah,
you
no.
know?
breath.
But no,
Hold your
but
breath.
there's so many parts in Israel where Palestinians, Israelis, everyone's just hanging out, no problems, and it's just a bunch of bullshit we're being fed.
It's kind of crazy because you think about other countries, like if you think about North Korea, and you're like, oh, everything's controlled there,
Yeah.
and they can't access the internet and
Nope.
stuff. It's like, yeah, we have access to things, but what's being shown to us is still very much controlled. You know,
Well-
it's like the story being told is like being painted.
This is a great. Like, this is random. I don't really talk about this, but my dad, he actually went to Cuba last week.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah.
Oh.
And
What did he think?
he loves it. It's beautiful. He said it's a
Still
beautiful country.
Cuba's
He was there for the weekend.
Okay.
He's living in my dad is a different story for him. He lives in the Cayman Islands right now doing something. But he went to Cuba and he messaged me. He's like, I'm going to Cuba with my fiance. I'll keep you guys updated. Don't know what's going on. This is on my bucket list. It's something I want to see before I die. And then he sent me some photos that I'll show you guys later. But like, beautiful country. And that's a country that we were looking pictures from the 1950s. And so we don't know anything about Cuba. Now we kind of lifted the embargo and all that kind of shit. But those photos, like, gorgeous country.
No,
No?
no. It's all dirt and shit. And
No, that's what we know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
People shooting each other for no reason.
Yep.
That's all they do. Yeah, North Korea is just people marching nonstop.
Marching and showing off missiles from 1940.
What do you guys think that people are told about America? Because like when I went to go visit Mexico, I went to Acapulco, and they were like, "Be careful.
The restaurant?
There's a lot of drugs."
You went to
and-
Acapulco, the restaurant?
I wish.
Okay.
I went to Acapulco, the place. But
The-
I
the
kept
place.
getting, I kept like drunk. We had a driver, but like my friends always wanted to stay out way later than I did, so I would just get a taxi. And apparently that was like the most dangerous thing you can do because you can be kidnapped and all this stuff. And they're like, be careful. But what do you think people like? There's always things you hear about other countries. What do you think the bad?
That's
things
Mexico.
are?
Mexico is our
Yeah.
neighbors.
Well,
That's a
I
little
had a
different.
great
Acapulco,
time
yeah.
there, and
Acapulco's a
everything was
tourist
fine.
trap.
Well, but here's the thing.
No, somebody got shot at the Hooters we were going to. Like,
Yeah, of course.
the next day we
Acapulco,
were-
it has
So
one of the
Hooters in
highest,
Acapulco?
or Mexico City.
Yeah.
Mexico City has one of the highest crime rates. At the same time, one of their biggest crimes tends to be pickpocketing.
Yeah.
So,
But-
it's like it's all relative.
There's
and
probably
what they
a
hear
bad
about
stereotype
here,
about us.
what they hear about us is simply a couple things. One, huge racial separation. And two is that everything's like you have everything. The other is everyone's shooting each other in gangs.
I just
So,
thought it was going to
yeah.
be everyone shooting each other. Period.
No, all the
Like,
three.
it could
It's
be
all the
literally
different
anything.
things, and none of it really covers more than 12 to 15% of the entire California or American population. The other 85-90% is having a great time doing nothing.
By the way, Gonzalez is watching right now. He's wants to know.
Gonzo!
He said that they have white guys that get shot at Acapulco too.
The restaurant.
No, those are
or-
light-skinned Mexicans. Those
the
are light-skinned
restaurant or the
Mexicans.
actual city.
So
No,
the rest.
Acapulco's gorgeous, though.
That's why I need to
well,
go.
we had a driver, and he was definitely on coke the entire time.
Are we talking about the restaurant still, or are we talking about the
that
No,
was
no,
when I was
place, yeah.
there.
Okay.
I did
Yeah.
cliff diving, but that was the restaurant.
That's the restaurant.
Where's the Acapulco restaurant? I've seen the commercials.
They used
for
to be
sure.
there.
It used-
Out of business,
on
man.
one on Sunset, it closed down.
Used to be
So-
one in Ventura.
Yeah, and that's gone. It's just like Mexico. It's
It was like a
closes
shitty
down.
El Torito.
Yeah, just like
Man,
Mexico.
I love that.
Which El Torito was shitty. So it was like a shitty place. It was shitty bang bang.
He said Fresno.
But yeah.
Fresno, I guess.
It's okay,
They're
Acapulco
all
and
those,
Fresno.
but there
Oh,
might
yeah,
be one
it's like
still open there.
McDonald's.
Staying
Yeah.
alive.
What's still open in, what did you say at that one show? Do you guys
Oh yeah, you guys have a Mervin's here.
Yeah, you
You're the
guys
town
have
that still has a
Mervin's.
Mervin's
Yeah.
kicking.
Yeah.
You know what
Exactly.
Mervin's is?
That's the
No,
point.
what's a Mervin's?
Yeah, no, that's
God
the point.
damn it.
That's
Or
how old it is.
Blockbuster. I'm just
Yeah.
saying something that's. I was going to talk about. I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. Sorry.
So,
Boots kicking in.
okay, so we were saying hi, Mark. No, but, okay, so where the hell were we? One of us has to
Chelsea
be-
Manning.
Oh, yeah.
And she's not a trans here. She's an American.
No, because Courtney is asking what do foreigners get told about America?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I say too. Is that in Europe they actually do talk a lot of shit about Americans,
Well, we are fatter.
depending
Well,
on
well,
parts of Europe.
Remember, though, they talk media stuff and the media displays because I've been to Europe a couple times, and I have 90-something% of the time met nothing but just really nice people.
Wait, you were in France though,
France,
right?
England, Germany,
But I-
Amsterdam.
But I feel like it's got to be better. I would at least accept a little bit more criticism from other countries because they like follow our news and like we don't really ever. I never like nobody.
Do
stops
they
being like, oh my God,
follow our
Mexico,
news?
you know,
They don't follow our news.
Our news is
any more than
not.
we do theirs.
No.
You'd be surprised. If you ever
BBC
watch
is
their
better
TV
news
shows,
than.
Why
Their news is so much better.
Have we ever?
We have BBC
Have we
out
ever
here.
had like some big thing because of a president that another country got? Like other countries celebrating because Obama got in office or whatever. Like,
But remember that other countries did riot too that Obama got in office.
but also with
Well, no,
So-
it wasn't even that. They
Because
filmed
Greece
all over.
hate- Greece doesn't like Obama.
Keep up.
No, but you know what though? That's kind of the thing. But have you ever watched Channel 7 News and think this is the news, and then you go 4 blocks over and you realize they have totally different hosts, and and there's a whole nother news channel, and that's kind of the same thing in France, in England, places like that. No, they got amazing news. Like their news is so much more open in what they talk about, and they're so much freer to criticize, and their opinions seem, and again, only seem to me, just like this is what they think.
Maybe they're not as controlled by like a Roger Ailes type or whoever. You
That's
know
the
what I
thing.
mean? Like
Exactly.
The one guy who's like,
People
well, this
don't
is the tone
realize
of this station.
People don't realize, like a Fox News, a CNN, their owners set tone.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the English news stations tend to just report news. In France, they report news. They don't cover up things even. They don't censor the TV.
Oh,
You'll see
Burgers.
nudity
Yeah.
on TV.
Steve McAnally says I watch the Naked News.
Naked
That's
news is
refreshing.
actually.
Yeah.
Hyro says Greece hates Americans. That's true too. Greece does hate Americans.
But again, they don't hate Americans. They hate American politicians.
And remember, Greece fucked over the euro. So if everyone's all pissed off about England leaving,
Yeah.
because remember the
Brexit,
the
yeah.
Brexit thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is fucked up." Greece is taking everyone down, because they're a fucked up country and they're doing everything. And I learned all that because Italy's fucked up too, so they're bringing it down. So when you're all connected in that, so they hate us in that kind of way because they try to make a United States out of Europe, and they realize they all have different economies and they all work differently. And they're like, that's not going to work.
That's the other thing is they don't. Yeah, we don't have a work schedule. A lot of their countries actually have where you do the siestas, you take time off. But it's lots of things like that. It's insane. You know what it is? They don't have people choking themselves to death with belts, which segues right into
What
our
a
next
beautiful
story.
segue.
Which was, and that was
What
my
a story.
question. That was my question in the beginning. Was in the little promo.
Suicide
was
or
it
kung
suicide
fu?
or kung fu? And for the younger people, David Carradine went out with the belt,
Yep.
and he was
Yeah.
a huge star of kung fu.
I
So
love
I
the
nicknamed-
jerk off.
Yeah.
so I said I
Wanna
nicknamed it that
come?
everyone who dies that way was kung fu. And like the Shaolin, the fucking people, the Asians chasing him from the show, finally got him.
Oh man!
Did you guys ever watch Kung Fu?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know you.
I used to
have.
watch it with my grandma.
It was a
It's
great show ever.
Great show.
Greatest show. You never thought he was fucking dropping acid with Gilligan, just running around naked and fucking each other.
They even brought it
Pull
back.
up the picture for the segment.
Oh yeah. The guy.
Do I have it?
Chris Cornell.
That's what I didn't know. Why
Chris
did I
Cornell.
think I didn't have it? No, I screwed up and I didn't have it on here.
We have to have technical difficulties.
Yeah. I
That's
forgot.
not really. That's
I put it
that's
in,
actually a beautiful technical difficulty. If we,
Yeah,
if
that's
we, if
not
we
a big
lost
deal.
air, that's
Yeah, we
airtime.
because I don't know if I set the thing right. But if we do, guys, we'll be back in minutes. If it'll be at the hour.
We're good then.
It might drop us. Yeah, right now we're cool.
We're
It
rock
might
and roll
drop
right now.
us. Yeah, we'll see. But so with the Chris Cornell thing though, that was the thing is he's another dude.
Our Kurt Cobain suicide.
Well, now see, this is the thing, is because some people are saying it was the wife or the girlfriend.
It was
Whatever.
wife. Yeah.
Some people are saying the wife killed him.
No.
Other people are saying that he committed suicide. Then there's that he was doing the asphyxiation.
No, it was an immeasurement of his prescription because he thought he took one less than he did. He forgot that he didn't take his first one already.
Who asked him?
Good point.
That's a good
Like,
question.
think about that.
That's a good question.
Whose word are they taking? His wife's? So she's like, hey, honey, don't forget to take your pill. And he's like, didn't I take it? Nope.
Gaslighting.
That's a callback. But But you know,
Does that go back to Jackson, Michael Jackson? And so
Here's the thing: he took one extra Ativan, and then
which would knock you the fuck
was
out.
Yeah.
kind of high during his show.
Yeah.
And then they go to the hotel. He calls his wife slurring and saying that he's tired.
And where's his wife?
Back home.
back here in LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so she was noticing he was slurring and all that.
Yes.
And then so she was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." So she has the security at the hotel go up and check on him, and sure enough, he's hung with the belt.
Now, am I wrong?
He's hung with the belt.
Let me ask you this: which they actually showed that he was hung?
Well, we had.
I don't know. I have a thing about penis size. I don't know. No, but
His old dick was out.
yeah.
It's all
was hung
flopped out.
and hanging from.
He
a
was
belt.
hard and dead.
These copycat
Was his
Aaron
dick out?
Hernandez's.
Well, they thought it was asphyxiation because he died like this.
Oh man. No, but there was
You're
nothing.
bumming him out.
Are you a
He's
Cornell
he's
fan?
He loves
I
Cornell.
don't know what he.
I'm a
I don't know any
huge-
songs. He
I-
Audio Vox
huge-
or Radio.
No,
Shack?
he did. He was Soundgarden.
Yeah.
He was Soundgarden. I was
Soundgarden.
in
audio
when I was in
slave.
middle school and stuff like that. I got into that grunge thing, so like
Yeah.
that was the music I listened
I
to.
like
Their
the
most
music.
popular
So,
song.
Black Hole Sun.
How does it go?
or
love that song.
or Spoon Man.
Yeah.
Whole song. See, I thought that was
Oh,
Pearl
that-
Jam.
No,
I
no.
thought that was
But
Pearl
they were
Jam.
all in the same
They're all
group.
the same person.
They're all the same, like that genre of grunge.
All those
so
groups just lost their lead singer.
he was their
Eddie
like.
Vedder's the last one. Of the
Is
big
Eddie the last?
What does he do?
Because he's Pearl Jam.
Okay.
So there was they had the big four. So they had Kurt Cobain, they had Eddie Vedder, Chris Cornell, and
Yeah.
Lane Staley of Alice in Chains.
Yeah, Allison Chains is dead
Lane
too.
Staley died in 2002 or 2004, I believe.
Chains, maybe. Mark Gonzalez would know. He'll tell you.
Lane Staley.
Gonzo when? And
Cobain.
You know about
died in
Cobain's
94,
situation, yeah.
So all that was left was Cornell.
Cobain
So-
was murdered.
No, he committed suicide.
I don't know if you. There's some
Yeah,
really
I don't know if
telling
you've ever
documentaries
seen.
about it.
I don't know if you've ever seen someone on heroin, but they aren't putting a shotgun in their mouth and blowing their head
Well,
off.
also like the way
blowing
that they
their
were
cheek
saying
off on
that
accident.
the shotgun was, and like
Yeah.
the way that the side it fell on, he would have to like use his foot to pull
There've
the
been
trigger,
so
and
many
like
things.
the way it fell was like to the wrong side.
Who, Cobain? You talking about
Yeah.
Cobain? Oh, not David Bowie. Okay, making sure.
No, Bowie died. He was 604. He died from old
and
Rod
and
Stewart's
Prince
sperm.
Prince died from again,
overdose or
not drugs,
Yeah.
but prescriptions.
Yeah, all prescriptions.
So
Yeah.
Bowie's the only one that died of cancer. Everyone else
Well,
suicide or prescription.
a lot of people didn't understand.
Keith Moon was prescription too.
Lane died
that
April
was an
5th,
overdose.
2002.
What it is, a lot of people don't understand, especially with the pills. We went from Vicodin to synthetic heroin. We went from Valiums, all kinds of shit like that, to synthetic heroin, Oxycontin. Oxycontin came in during the whole time that the Taliban controlled Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So basically, heroin addicts couldn't really get heroin. All of a sudden, a pill pops out that's synthetic heroin that everyone's getting prescribed. Like, I have a toe ache. Oxycontin. And so everyone's getting it, but it's expensive to buy. Okay, so then all of a sudden, we wipe out the Taliban, and now Oxycontin is impossible to get forever, but heroin's readily available again. And so it was like kind of like a buffer drug, but what people didn't get is a lot of people like the Orange County wives and stuff like that, a lot of them were doing Vicks. They were taking Vicodins. They were doing this and that.
Yeah.
So Oxycontin. Okay. Oxys, Vickies. They're all fun. No, Vicodin is a painkiller. It's not. It's an opiate, I believe. I don't even know if it's an actual opiate, but it's not synthetic heroin. So that's a whole nother high. So these people are getting a high that they can't flip off. When it goes away, they can't start taking Vicodin and cover it. They need heroin, methadone. And so all of a sudden, back in business, and customers are just ready. Just ran out of Oxy, right in time. And that's kind of the thing. So it's all set up.
Well, I'd say that the industry too, the music industry, all the musicians, they got to keep their brain moving.
They
so
keep them racked up, so
and
they do what they want.
Yeah, they do what they want. And also, a lot of them are so fucked up
The old Marilyn Monroe.
in their younger days. So in their 20s, they did all the shit, all the drinking, all the coke they can do. And so their bodies slow down in their late 30s and early 40s, and they do all this shit. And that's why we're losing them. That's why they're dropping like flies right now. Minus Bowie, because he died of cancer.
Yeah, Bowie went out right.
Yeah.
That's what I said. And Cornell was what, 52?
40. No, he's 50. Oh, he's in his 50s. That's right. Yeah,
See,
shit.
I don't want
52.
to be a dick, but that's some pussy shit.
Is
You're a
hanging
fucking
yourself?
rock star. You live to 52.
Maybe his heart didn't know he was
Fuck
going to
were
be a
you
rock
doing?
star.
Who's the lead singer of the Eagles? He passed away a year ago.
Glenn
yeah,
Fry.
That's
Yeah.
bullshit too.
No, here-
you don't
the-
do that
the
many
Rev-
drugs and live that long. You were faking it.
Back in 2009, the Rev, who is the drummer of Avenged Sevenfold, he died at like 28 years old.
Like a hero.
Damn.
Like a rock and roller.
I think,
Well,
and
he's
it
going to
was
be in the 27 Club.
it was
Yeah.
a Brompton
Right and dead.
cocktail.
Boom, like a star.
It was a Brompton cocktail he did himself on.
Like
What's
a man.
that consist of?
Like a proud
Like
man.
tons of opiates, barbiturates, and tons of alcohol.
Yeah.
It's the deadly Brompton.
But
cocktail.
Slash is still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
And
he
he-
still has lots of parties at his house.
And he just started admitting to being half black. You know that, right? No, he hid that for a long
I just like
time.
We all
that.
knew.
You said that so just nonchalant.
Oh, my wife rants about that. She hates that.
My
He is
sister
half
dresses
black.
Up, my sister can dress up as a mean Slash for Halloween, so
That's good. Yes.
like
Nice.
she looks just like
Yeah.
him.
Well,
Yeah.
Slash isn't gonna live a long life. He'd probably be around for and then Mark Gonzalez said too. Keith Richards, he's another guy that, but
Yeah,
he's
Keith Richards.
he's pickled. He's pickled.
And he looks like he's dead.
He
He
died
looks-
40 years
he looks
ago.
dead as fuck.
He died 40 years.
He died. Mick Jagger turned and goes, "Well, we're not letting him die.
They just cryo-freeze him.
Bloody stuff him."
Yeah, Keith Richards. That's a great example right there.
Yeah, but Chris Cornell, it was simply due to his brain chemistry being thrown off by an extra Ativan.
Really?
Yes.
So did the belt choke him?
That's the question too. Did he actually? What was he doing if he hung
where
himself?
was
Why?
it?
It
Why?
gives you suicidal thoughts.
Why don't they take melatonin? It's really,
Here's
So
the
really
thing.
just-
easy natural
Well, this is what I was gonna
sleep
say.
aid.
Here's the thing. You got that much money, you can get a good cocktail going if you want to off yourself.
Yeah.
And go out just feeling blasted. Go out in euphoria. You're a drug addict already. Why would you hang yourself?
Chris Cornell was sober 15 years.
What was the drugs?
He's
The pills.
defending him. He's like a lawyer right now.
The Ativan is his anxiety meds.
But like to take it
There you go.
after you've
Drug
been, he was drinking.
No,
He wasn't drinking. No,
No,
he
this
is.
was all his
He
Ativan.
is sober.
So he
From
wasn't
alcohol.
So
drinking,
he was a
just did
sober rocker.
Ativan.
Oh.
So
Even-
one,
even
two,
Bowie
three
still
Ativan.
drank.
He may have done. He may have
It's his
done
anxiety
Christian
meds.
metal. That's horrible.
I used to listen to that.
That's what was it, Seventh Thunder?
Remember that?
Oh,
Remember that
man.
one
Yeah, we used to
band?
get high with them.
Petra.
Yeah, Seventh Thunder was like
Stryper.
the biggest Christian thrash metal band.
Wow.
Not Seventh Thunder. It was wait, maybe that was it. Yeah, Seventh Thunder. I think that was
Seven
it.
Thunder?
Or Striper.
Striper. You got
Striper.
high with Striper.
Oh, they used to drink and get high and fuck all the time. Yeah, my buddies
man.
played.
Just like a good
my buddies
Christian
played in
should.
Seventh Thunder, which was a Christian band, and they all partied, and so they would like do shows with them and shit. So we'd all be partying, and yeah, we'd leave the
Oh,
show, go
badass.
and party, and those motherfuckers were blasting rails and everything. And
Yeah,
but Christian rock
Christians
became
are the
popular.
best hypocrites.
Well, Christian rock became popular, and there was money in it, so people went that route.
I felt that. Remember that? Didn't that Switchfoot band? Weren't they like a
I
Christian
dare
group?
you to move.
But everybody just thought they were a regular band. Then they were like, "Oh no, we're a Christian band." And people were
Oh,
like,
And then no one liked him. Wait, what would you call him? What was the name?
Switchfoot.
Was that who it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, Switchfoot. Yeah.
Because they
'Cause
came
we were
out.
like, cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of around like when like California, like the Ocean Avenue people and stuff were around.
And they
What are
said, like,
called?
don't do the devil sign or something, wasn't it? Right? They were like, don't do that.
Yeah. Because Dio started
Doesn't
that.
this mean like
Dio,
rock
yeah.
on or something?
This
Well-
is Devil Horns.
Well, it was
Ronnie
before
James
Dio. It was before Dio.
No,
He just did the
Dio
album with it.
popularized it.
Popularized it. But before Dio, we were at concerts doing that shit.
Yeah, I thought.
What do you mean before,
Before
you
Dio.
were?
Dio, not
Yeah.
Deep Purple.
No, I'm talking about Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah, before Ronnie James Dio was Dio.
Because Dio was
In-
late 70s, 80s.
He was in Sabbath,
yeah, he was.
and then he broke off and became Dio
right.
in the late '80s or mid '80s.
He was
beginning
also
80s.
in Rainbow before
Yeah.
Sabbath.
But I mean, but in Dio is where he was doing that.
Yeah.
But that was before him.
So this is satanic.
Yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
Devil Horns.
That's the Devil Horns. That's satanic. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the Devil
my
Horns.
buddy Sean
I
used to
thought
tell me
it
that.
meant rock on.
That's what it became.
It does.
Yeah.
That's what it
Because it's metal.
became.
Oh, originally.
It's
What
so
it meant,
metal.
it was the sign of the
Rock
devil.
on. Hey, rock on,
Like the
man.
Satanists, the
This,
Satanists
who
would do
cares?
it.
Because
This-
metal
I
is
could go
Satan's
like this,
music.
and it means whatever I want.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the Satanists would do. That the devil
Metal.
horns, and it was a logo type of thing.
Well, then everybody says that the Jay-Z, like,
The Illuminati
logo
thing. Yeah.
is
Yeah, it's,
Illuminati.
yeah, it's very Illuminati right
Yeah.
there. Has-
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
so-
There are only so many hand symbols you can make with your hands, though. Like,
okay.
at a
Yeah.
concert.
Well, and that's the thing is I don't buy into any of that stuff.
You just want your fan. You need to know your fans are following you in some way. Make up some
Exactly.
stupid hand sign.
Exactly.
We should have one, you guys.
Hang loose, man.
This is our.
Hang
One
the-
eye, right?
The one
Does
eye.
that mean that we see all?
I don't know. I never.
No, that's okay. Mark Gonzalez wants to correct you really fast. That's not Jay-Z. That's Diamond Dallas Page.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Is that a wrestler?
Is that a wrestler?
Is that a wrestler?
Yeah.
We've got to
Yeah,
get.
but everybody
We've got to
knows
get Mark
it's
laid.
Jay-Z.
Mark has got to start fucking.
Nobody thinks of me first.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark has got to get laid. So okay, to quick segue from Chris Cornell hanging himself to
But we
Well-
should blame Courtney Love for killing Chris.
someone
Cornell.
else who hung
Yeah.
themselves. Hold
Mark,
on, it's
that's
gonna
what
take a
God-
second.
Was that black dick connected to that black man? So no, I was not blackballed. I was whiteballed by some black dicks who had no balls. Thank you, Mr. Lee Daniels. Thank you, Mr. Coincidence. No, baby, I wasn't blackballed. I was fucked up by some niggas who had no balls. And see, I know they like to say, Monique, you talk too motherfucking much. It would kill me not to say the real shit. It would kill me not to say the real shit. You are not paying me equally. You are not treating me fairly. So y'all can suck my dick if I had one.
And then she goes on to call out. She goes on to call
She's
out.
got to be pissed because she lost all that weight.
Oh, no, so many things.
Right.
Like, here's the thing. Now, watch this. So she is completely blacklisted now. But they're trying to, like Tyler Perry saying, like, oh, we made up and this and that. But they're doing behind-the-scenes shit real quick.
Oh yeah.
Because I guess Tyler Perry's not out. I don't know.
I've heard that.
I thought he was out. The
gay.
dude's got a twink white boyfriend. I mean, you know.
Well, he's openly he's saying he's gay because he's a very Christian Catholic, whatever it
That's
is,
okay. I don't know. I
religious
don't know if he's out.
filmmaker.
Everyone
Well,
says
he
he's
also
gay.
lives in Atlanta.
Yeah,
and
everyone
being,
says
living
gay.
in Atlanta, it's
Yeah,
like
gay Atlanta's-
every black dude's like on the down low.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing there.
Yeah.
Is the DL.
Yeah,
Hot-
I'll
Hot
tell you this,
Atlanta.
I've been a lot of
ATL,
places, and I've
DL.
never gotten more dick than when I was in Atlanta. No,
You got dick in Atlanta?
Atlanta.
thank
In
God I
Atlanta.
haven't been there.
ATL.
Thank God I haven't been there, right?
Just you wait.
Oh, when I get there, I'm getting dick. No, but so okay, so but anyway, so and she even calls him out for being soft, like she said like
So the story is that Monique is blackballed because of Tyler Perry. She knows that.
Not just
I mean,
Tyler
is
Perry.
Is that his name?
no. Well, Tyler Perry.
See,
There's
what's his
also
name?
Tyler
what's
Perry.
The other guy. There's
Oh,
one
that
other
sounds
guy.
wrong.
He's a filmmaker.
No, there's
I
one
know.
other guy. She
Terrible
mentioned.
actor.
Here, bring up
Jeff
Facebook.
Daniels, right?
Not Jeff Daniels. That's the white actor.
Lee Daniels.
Lee Daniels.
Oh,
thank
Lee,
you.
Lee
Lee
Daniels,
who's openly gay.
which he wrote, the
Who's this thing?
12 Years
Yeah.
Later, and he wrote something else too.
Yeah.
I think The Butler, was it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the butler.
And so
Well, I put-
him, no, it's fine.
Wrote and
That was
directed.
What I wanted to know was Lee
Oh,
Daniels. But him, Tyler Perry, and then basically blackballed her. But here was the thing: is one of the things was when she did Precious and all this stuff, and then something came up about her brother molesting her. She talked about her brother molesting her,
Yeah,
one of her
she
brothers,
was on an interview
and all this stuff. And so Oprah wanted to have her and her brother on, and she's like, "Nah,
Yeah.
like if you want to have him on, fine, like whatever, do your thing."
Yeah.
But I don't want to be in on it, And
But Oprah
Oprah's like,
did
"Fine."
interview
no,
her, right?
no. Oprah. Well, yeah, Oprah had her on the show. She was an Oprah protege, and so, but Oprah interviewed her brother on the show, and her estranged mother, and her other brothers, and some other people, and just like boom, like
All
all
on the
this
show.
stuff about her, right? And blah blah blah, and they all hate her anyway. But fuck them, that motherfucker molested her, and that's what she had to
Right.
fuck them, and so she got pissed. And then she called out Oprah at a party, and then Oprah got mad, and it was a whole thing.
I wouldn't
and
fuck with
basically,
Oprah.
yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. That's the bullshit.
She's too big to fail.
That's what I'm saying. But this is the thing. That's the bullshit because Monique is amazingly funny and talented actress, and nothing should get in her way of doing shit. And you know what? if she was upset about that, she should be able to voice that she was upset about it without getting banned out, and all this shit.
That's the problem with the politics, though. It's just
That's-
like with
yeah.
comedy. It's like there are some people who are super great, and then like certain people don't like them. Excuse me.
And you're
then
dead in the
that's
water.
it. Yep. That's
And
it.
So Monique is being almost
Blacklisted.
blacklisted out of
She hasn't
Hollywood.
been cast in
There-
anything
well,
since
yeah, for a while.
Precious.
But here's the other thing: is she was up for some roles that she got pulled out of.
Gotcha.
So it was like a whole thing. She was, but I loved when she said that. Oh, sorry, when she said that, she's like, "I ain't being." She goes, "I'm being white balled," because it's always
By
you're being
people with
blackballed.
no balls.
She goes by some. She goes, "I'm being white balled by some black dicks with no balls," and I thought, that's fucking, that is brilliant.
She's great. She's always
But
been
she's
great.
so funny. I've seen her forever.
Yeah.
She's
She has
so
an Oscar
funny.
under her belt
And
too.
she speaks her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
Says what she wants to, and I respect that. And that's
And
the
that's
thing.
the craziest thing is she won the Oscar, and then usually you see people in so many things after they win an Oscar, and
Yeah.
then you saw
It's usually
her-
an Oscar
Yeah.
curse sometimes, where they
Yeah.
just pick up bad roles. But right now, there's no roles.
But
There's,
right,
there's
it'd
nothing.
be one thing if she were like in movies that were just like, oh, that movie sucked, but it was like you didn't see her in
No,
anything.
she's a great actress, and she hasn't gotten shit. And I don't think her husband does her any good. I mean, her husband's probably like the one fucking amazing football player whose dad's just a fucking dick doing the shoe deal and all this shit. If you haven't heard about that. Some amazing college football player. His dad's like on the news. His dad's taking all the limelight. His dad's saying shit that's making his kid get hated.
So wait, she's married to the young?
No,
girl?
I'm just saying
Oh.
like that's kind
It
of
could
like
be
her
that
husband.
scenario. Oh,
Her
yeah,
husband
yeah.
might be doing that to her too. But what I'm saying is, here's somebody who's amazingly talented, who's amazingly talented, who went through some serious shit in their life. And yeah, she might be on and off a little. She might have some mental issues with what she had to go through. But you know what? She wasn't doing anything. Like, she wasn't coming out being crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Now
it's
they're gonna look
crazy
her- make her
because
look that
she
way.
finally made it to a point in her career where she felt like she was big enough to talk about her past.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't ruin her career or whatever.
And people wouldn't
And-
pull bullshit, especially someone who's
Exactly.
supposed to be her friend.
Yeah, and then it's like, even that still, it's just.
Well, everything
That's the
gets
letdown.
swept under the rug. That's what they want to do. They don't want to talk about it. They don't.
Well, no, they wanted to talk about Oprah wanted to talk about it just without her and get her whole family involved.
Yeah. Well, that's ratings. That's.
But they
I
don't
mean,
want
it's
to,
always
yeah.
good to have two parties that don't
Ratings.
get along.
Yeah, people want to talk about like she's the bitch. She says, well, maybe that was
You
that
can
moment
still be
that
a
day.
bitch and somebody can still molest you. Like they're not. they
That's the
don't-
thing.
you know what I mean?
And maybe that might be a byproduct of having to go through that. And so when someone's got some real life issues, you got to allow for some understanding of things like that. But
Yeah.
So I thought it was a wild thing that Oprah, all these people are turning on her. But Buck, I mean, she's hysterical, but I saw that and it was hysterical. And so, leading into it, when I saw that, that's what I thought about on such a smaller scale, of course, because nobody really gives a rat shit about
You
me.
talking about
it's
the
a
Yeah.
big list?
Yeah,
This
the
is
list.
a big
It's
deal.
like this thing.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing
list.
about it. A couple things I want to state ahead of time. I don't believe this paper is fake. I believe that the people put on it might not know they're on it because some of the names throw me off a lot that they would do that.
Do you think it could be like a flippant comment made?
Well,
like just
No. This is a put together list. Like I'll
Right.
bring it up.
But I'm saying like to
Yeah.
get on the list. What if they just said like if you're just like fuck that person
Well,
one time and
now
then
the
it's like,
person I think did the list, and we all know I'm going to name names. So, but the person that we think did the list, because when I read it, there's a mention of me stealing toilet paper from comedy clubs. There was also a Yelp thing put up. A buddy of mine who happens to be an amazing computer hacker told me exactly who did it. About me stealing toilet paper from the Comedy Store. Which I
so
replied.
the Yelp thing is on the Comedy Store's Yelp.
Yeah.
Some of the
And
best
so-
toilet paper in town.
But here was the thing.
Like the
So a
regular
buddy of
cheap
mine
toilet.
told me about it. Like, hey, there's a Yelp thing about you. And so I look at it, and so it said I stole toilet paper, like I'm a scumbag and all this stuff, and I even steal toilet paper. What a lot of people didn't know at the time is I was a full-time single dad with 2 kids trying to make ends meet. And,
I would steal toilet
you
paper
know,
from my job
well, yeah.
all the time.
Well,
where
everyone
you-
does.
We all
But-
have.
But here was the thing. So my buddy, he's a computer genius. So he tells me who did it, and it was Amy Hawthorne who posted the thing. Yeah. Now,
Which
in
she-
the letter,
Who books Gotham?
now she does, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why when I was in New York and I hit up Gotham, I got no reply, and I didn't realize it. Why exactly? Like, not even to come in and do a, like a mic.
Guest spot.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so,
not even an
yeah,
open
no. Okay, so in the letter here, it talks about, he even, I'll tell you. It
Yeah,
says,
read the letter.
okay, you know what, I'll read the
Just
thing.
read the-
now,
yeah.
first of all, grammatically, being a teacher, this is garbage. This is,
I want to say, by the way, the envelope it came in, I thought the Zodiac Killers.
right? It was, well, the guy said,
It was one of
the guy who
creepiest
told me, the guy who
envelopes.
called me, he said that, I'm going to make sure you can't find it. Like, I don't, he goes, because I do, I call everyone out by name, and he's like, he was saying, and I told him, I said, no, I'm not going to, he goes, yeah, I'm not doing that.
How'd you get the
And
letter in your
so
possession?
remember when we were doing the show, and I was talking about that, someone told me, like, you were banned in a lot of places and this and that.
Yeah.
So some booker somewhere fucking calls me, gets my number, but it's on my number's on Facebook and everything else. And like a week or so after that, and he's like, yeah, I watch your podcast. And he goes, it was funny, it hit me when you said that I did get a letter about you. And he goes, I'm going to send it to you. Now, here's the thing. If you look at the paper, it's old as fuck. Like, this isn't something from a month,
That's
a year
how it
ago.
came.
It's
when
a
you
Zodiac
got the
killer.
letter. And
letter.
the envelope had
What he got.
oh.
I know.
This is what was sent
It's like
to
been
him.
sitting
he
there
sent to
forever,
me.
kind
And
of
he
thing.
emailed it to you.
And
No.
it was by the
He
name.
wouldn't email it to me.
Gave it to you.
He went by the name
mailed it.
Mr.
He
Knight.
mailed it.
Snail
But
mail.
so you know who that guy
Not
is.
at all.
No.
There's no return
What's
address.
creepy is that the letter. Okay,
Yeah.
the letter looks old and beaten up, and
Like
even
it's
the
a pattern.
envelope looks beaten up.
Yeah.
But you look at the date of when it was mailed. It's current.
Yeah.
This is not old news.
The envelope, the mailing was current.
Yeah.
But this is old.
How did he get your
That's very
address?
old.
The what?
How do you
I
get
gave
your-
him my address.
So he was like, I want to send you
Oh, yeah,
something. I'm
yeah.
not going to tell you who I am.
Yeah. I
Okay.
was like, when he said that, I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Now, so like I say,
I was waiting for Anthrax
it could
to
be
shoot
fake,
out.
but the fact that nobody else would really mention that I stole toilet paper, except for back then. Yeah. So, with that said, we're still good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So with that said, what I'll explain is, because some people have said like, oh, who's trying to ban you, or why does some comic, not want you to do it, or one thing that someone's saying is like, oh, these people's, well, fuck them, don't work with them ever.
Right.
If they don't want to work with you, don't work. And no, if some comic stated that, hey, fuck Berger, he's an asshole, I don't ever want him doing a show with me, totally
Yeah.
get that. That's
Yeah.
your choice. This doesn't say that. This tells them if I'm ever booked at the club for any reason, they will not do the club.
Ever.
So ever.
So
Now-
you're made of cancer.
yeah.
You
so,
are.
So here's the letter. It says, there is a comic, David Berger, who goes by Berger. He worked at the Comedy Store and became a regular through Tommy Morris, the booker, by giving him drugs. He has threatened, first of all, he is not capitalized after a period. He has threatened the life of many people and has stolen many things. Comma, he even stole toilet paper from comedy clubs, which comedy clubs is capital. Comedy's capitalized, but it's
Like
not-
it's God.
Yeah, like that's the name of the club. He is a drug dealer, and he's a drug dealer, a deadbeat dad who lives off welfare and drug dealing. Well, what would a drug dealer live off of but drug dealing? Wait, hold on. Comedy does not need low-life drug-dealing thugs getting ahead. We are banding together to let you know if you book or work with David Berger, none of the comedians below will do your shows. This guy is bad for comedy and Hollywood. The whole place of Hollywood?
All of
Like,
Hollywood.
do we mean hypothetical Hollywood, like the movies? Or
Nope, we're
the-
talking about Hollywood just
damn
right
it.
here that we're in.
Okay,
We're talking
but not-
about Hazeltine.
but not North Hollywood. So
to
there I'm
Sherman
fine.
You
Way.
can
Yeah.
do Hollywood stuff
North
in the
Hollywood, I'm
valley,
fine.
but
Yeah.
Bro,
He-
you're
wait.
hated between Victory
He
and
throws,
Van Owen.
and this is what got me. He throws false accusations while being a felon and a drug dealer. We got that.
Again.
they're really on this drug.
Do not
drug
share
thing.
this for your knowledge only. Only share with other bookers at your club. These comics will not do your show if you work with David Berger. I think we fucking get that. Okay, so wait.
Is
now,
it Trump?
Yeah.
Because there's
Now,
a lot
so-
of repeating in
Here,
there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the letter for a
Drug
second.
dealer.
I brought the letter up,
Sad, sad.
so hold on.
Bad for Hollywood. Did I say he's a drug
Okay, so that's the letter,
That's
right?
the letter right there. Yes.
Okay, so the names, it says, Pauly Shore, I totally understand.
I don't know what she's doing.
I went off on him at the Comedy Store, and but the guy never said hi to me. He was a total dick to me. We're both Jewish. He treated me like I was garbage piece of shit. When I'm a school teacher and this and that, you just garbage to me. Fuck you, and I called
Was
you out
that,
for it.
like in his heyday? That you guys
It was
got known?
nonstop that I was there. Yeah, he never
Yeah.
said hi to me. He'd walk away from me. And his mom loved me. And, I mean, his mom was so nice
Mitzi.
to me. Yeah, Mitzi was so nice to me. She's such a great woman. Bobby Lee. I get Bobby Lee. He tried to back hump me. I told him if he ever touched me again, I'd kill him. And I called him out for sucking Louis Anderson's dick for Vicodin and spots.
I mean,
Did
he did have.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He had a
How do you
strong
know?
Yeah,
growth
he admitted
period.
it. He's admitted it on stage.
He admitted it?
Yeah. Jeff Garlin. I totally get Jeff Garlin, but please capitalize his name. The guy's at least become a big enough star to get his
See,
name capitalized.
that's another thing too. Is
Yeah.
that I talked to Ferberg about this last night. I think he's tuning in tonight. But he's like, Jeff Garlin. Why does Jeff Garlin care about anything?
Well, no. Now, here's my thought. That's why I say I don't believe anybody on this list made this list. I don't think any of them would take the time.
Right.
But somebody made the list, and again, I don't know that any of these people, because these aren't signatures. So I don't know that any of these people even know they're on this list.
It's almost
Yeah.
in a way
Yeah.
in that most of them are big enough that like
They wouldn't care.
It would bother you as a booker if you couldn't have these people.
Yeah.
You know what I
Because
mean?
Yeah.
so,
But I don't think that they know anything about it.
some
Well,
of
but
these
watch this,
comics
yeah.
already make too much that if they don't need the clubs anymore anyway.
Some of these comics.
Well, it's not that they don't need them. It's
The
that
clubs
I need
need
them,
them.
and the clubs need
Yeah.
them. I need the clubs, and the clubs need them. And it's a good.
It
but,
seems like
but watch.
from
But
yeah, you
Garland,
continue.
Garland, I get because I called him out for fucking Matt Egger, and giving him spots, and
What?
I didn't care. I don't
thought
care.
After fuck somebody else.
Egger just fucked a lot of guys probably. Ari Shafir, I get just because I've
Ari
never
Shafir,
gotten
I can
along-
understand with anybody.
I've never gotten along with Ari. Ari's never liked me because you know what
He
it
doesn't
is.
even write his
Ari's
own
a rich
material.
kid Jew who's never had to do anything.
He doesn't
I grew
even
up
write
in
his own
the
shit?
I grew up in the fucking I grew up in Pacoima. I'm Jewish. I have full head of hair. It bugs him. I don't know. We've never gotten along
He
though.
is not
Yeah,
attractive.
he's never. Now this is one that these next two really bug me. John Caparulo.
Yeah.
And now this is why I know this. I'll tell you in a second why I know this is old, and I know when it's from, and that's why I know it's Amy Hawthorne, probably. Okay, John Caparulo, I don't get that because we got along, but there was a point where he completely cut off. He never talked to me again. Nothing, just all of a sudden, right? Ian Edwards. Now I did nothing but get along with Ian Edwards.
He's
Ian
a cool
Edwards,
dude.
and now here's
Really
the thing.
cool dude.
Ian Edwards, I always thought was a very cool guy. The beautiful thing about it is Ian Edwards knows, because he talks about the black thing a lot, and he knows I have a half black daughter. So
He talks about the black
so if
thing.
he's
He
on
talks
here,
about being black.
no, meaning yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying. Like he's
His
hardcore
life.
about it, but he's down to if he's down to do this. If this was him, now here's the thing. I was leaving Solar Cafe years ago. Ian Edwards runs into me. He pulls me aside on the street, and because can you walk with me? And he tells me that I need to shut up, like I'm fucking myself up and all this stuff. I never thought about it again because he's like, you need to stop. I go, well, I'm not. I live my life to speak the truth. If people are doing bullshit, I'm going to call it out. If it affects me, oh well. Never thought about it till I got this. Now, here's one. Joe Rogan. I don't think Joe Rogan fucking would be on here because I don't think he'd give a shit about me. Like, that's what I mean. Some of these, I don't know. Maybe, it might have been. Well, Amy Hawthorne, she was in with all these people pretty tight. So.
Yeah, you'd have to. I feel like
Yeah.
know these people,
Yeah.
all of these people, pretty well.
And so now here's one which tells me when it's from, Jeff Richards. Now I get Richards only in the sense that I couldn't stand him because he was a fucking leech. Like he would try and use you for everything he could. He'd say like, hey, new comics need to get me high and shit like this and all this stuff. And he tried to get me to help him move, and it was some stupid hill.
Which
of
comic?
Jeff Richards.
Oh,
Some
okay.
But I mean,
ridiculous
like,
hill, and I
at-
told him I'm a grown man,
At
dude.
what
I'm not
point
doing
were you
this.
interacting with him? Because I mean,
All the time, years ago.
But I mean, when
Yeah.
he was like coming off of SNL or coming off of Mad TV,
yeah, when he was
like,
starting to get in trouble and lose his money and
yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
I feel like he,
He
was
was
probably
hanging out
going
at the
through some
Comedy Store.
shit too.
No, but
he's
here-
still
yeah.
there. But
yeah,
I
but
mean,
him being on there would only tell me that they wouldn't put him on here because he's a real Dice. Now here's the thing about Dice. I used to go on the road with Eleanor a lot, and all of a sudden, boom, didn't hear from her again ever again. Like we were friends, everything was cool. We would go out. I would get her shows too. Like Bakersfield, shit like that. They were shitty paying, but they were only paying shows she was doing at the time, and she was engaged to Dice. She wasn't doing shows with him, which I thought was cool. She was out on her own, doing it on her own. And so we had good times. I got her a gig in Mexico, and shit like that. And then all of a sudden, completely gone. But then when I think about it, there was a few other people. Pamela Walt. who was getting in with those people, all of a sudden cut
Yeah.
me completely off. We were really good friends. And so, not really good, but, as far as like,
Yeah.
you know how that went.
How old
And
was she?
I don't know. I don't know.
I thought
But
she was
I did a
young.
show with you guys. That's
and
one of the first
that's
shows I
what
ever
mean.
did. Yeah, we did
we
a
got
show
along
together.
really good and
Yeah.
everything, and then all of a sudden, nothing. So there was a lot of things that lead me to this. There were other people who told me, like, you're fucking your shit up. You don't know what you're doing. Okay. Dice bugs me because Dice asked me to look after his kid. I actually kept his kid from getting his ass kicked from a guy named Mustafa who was flipped out at him for some reason. He had said something or something went on. But and I'm like, nah, dude. And I knew Mustafa was a good guy. And so Kurt Fox, I don't know why Kurt Fox would care.
Yeah,
I've never had
that
anything.
baffles me, too.
But the only thing is Kurt Fox was right there when I went off on Pauly Shore at the Coffee Bean, and someone reported
So why would that
it.
affect
Someone
Kurt?
reported it and it went
Yeah,
viral.
I feel like Kirk is just
Yeah.
like such a laid back.
Really is.
dude.
He always seemed
would
like a nice
just be
guy to
like-
me.
He'd be
Yeah.
like, you
No,
probably
Kurt-
shouldn't have done that. But
Kurt always seemed like a nice guy
I
to
did
me.
I did a webisode with Kirk Fox.
Don Barris.
Don Barris, I get.
Don Barris I totally get because one thing I remember, I
Don
never
Barris.
succumbed to Don being like this big leader or anything. He was always just a suburban guy to me, who was like the tough suburban guy, and that's it, and that's great for you. Enjoy your money. It was good. You had a good life. But here was the thing is, he attacked Jimmy Pidd in the Comedy Store office over something that had nothing to do with Jimmy Pidd's fault. It was something between him and Mary Jane. He got mad at Pidd, literally comes in and physically attacks Pidd. I got to pull Barris off him. Barris is saying that Pitt hit him with a bong and all this. Pitt had the bong in his hand about to hit it. He put the bong up to deflect Barris. It was total just protecting himself. He never even swung on Barris. Barris was trying to get him. And I had to grab Barris. Barris was like, and Barris was saying, isn't that Dean was asking about it? I said, nah. Barris ran in and did all this. And Barris was like, you're a liar. I go, fuck you. I don't lie. I go, 99% of the time I don't lie. But I didn't lie. That's exactly what happened. And nobody was going to back up Pitt. Pitt still lost his job. Pitt was still banned at the Comedy Store. The only thing he had was his job at the Comedy Store and doing the Comedy Store spots. And that was his life. His parents were dead or something. And he, was on his own would live wherever. Stay with his sister somewhere. Excuse me. And so he got him banned, and he was pissed about that. So I get that. Barris had a problem with me ever since then because I didn't just succumb to him being the frat boss because I don't go to, I went to college online. I didn't get the whole frat thing.
Yeah.
So Whitney Cummings, I totally get. I called her out for. I said she fucked an NBC executive in the ass. And
Yeah.
That's how she got all her shit. She was
like
also.
she pegged him?
Yeah. She was also in Cannes in 2004 and then blew up in 2005. But really, other than a shit B movie she was barely in, had no reason to be in Cannes. And everyone knows that Cannes is a big brothel. And that's how stars go out and they fuck and then they get parts. And she was there 2004. It's on record. 2005, she started
Yeah, why
blowing
would
up.
she be
Want to
there?
bring up this thing on this list that you're talking about is boom, 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 male, 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 male,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden
Cummings.
Whitney Cummings.
Well, I'm going to tell you two things. The last one that bugs
And
me the most.
Eleanor Kerrigan. I
Nope,
guess.
she's not on here.
She's on the
I
list.
know, but
Well, people who cut me
Spirit.
off, yeah. But here's the thing. Whitney Cummings, Freddie Lockhart. I lived with Freddie Lockhart. I used to get him weed all the time.
Because you're a drug dealer.
Well, that's the thing. That was the funny thing is I was a drug dealer. Here's the thing. Is I would go get weed from the pharmacy, and people would be like, oh, can you grab me something? Yeah. So I went to this place, RDC in Reseda, which was great. This guy Dave owned it. He'd give me mad discounts all the time. He gave me a card, which gave me a special discount. So on top of the discounts that the people there would give me, I got an extra discount at the end. And so I would get it for $25 an eighth, $30 an eighth. Then I would sell it to them for 50, whatever, 50, 60 an eighth. And I was going to the store anyway. It covered my weed and gas and whatever. And that was my drug
It's not
dealing.
like you're making a lot of money at
that
the
was my
store.
drug dealing. There were drug dealers there at the store.
Right.
There were
Yeah.
people supplying the comic. And there were plenty of people giving Tommy weed, like Eric Marino and people like that would give Howard Dover.
Eric
would give
Marino.
Tommy-
Everybody's giving each other
but they
weed
would
now.
but they would give him tons of weed, and in exchange for. I
Respect.
sold Tommy weed at a profit like I did anyone else.
How long ago
he
was
knew I
this?
made a profit. I told him, I don't do this free. If you want me to get you some, yeah, but it's going to cost you $10 in gas money. And
So it would have been more noble if you were just gave it to him.
no, they
so
said they
in
were saying
their
I gave it to
eyes.
him. No, they were saying I gave him.
Oh, I thought they were
Yeah,
saying you
no,
sold
him I
it to
gave.
him.
Other than that, I was a drug dealer.
Oh,
And by the
okay.
way, yeah, never did anything else. I used to get Vicodins for my pain, and I didn't trade them. I never traded them for weed. But I mean, but that's the biggest thing I did. Like, I won't take pills. I hate pills. But I
said
never
you never
ever
lie,
did it. Never.
Burger.
That's why I say it that way, because we all know. Yeah. And so, so there are many other up-and-coming comics.
Burger.
Who I'm going to say the one person I'm shocked that wasn't on here.
Okay,
but there
cool.
are many other up-and-coming comics who also will back this. You will be given a confirmation call from a booker at a very well-known club who will back up this letter. Thank you. Comics for a safe comedy scene. Now, the one thing I want to say, before I say who wasn't on here, is the what?
Comics for a safe.
I know, it's
comedy
so,
scene.
kill yourself. But so one thing I want
PSA.
to say about it is, here's the thing. You know, yeah, smoke a bit of pot, it's legal. Other than that, I don't do anything else. I'm a school teacher, I'm a father, I'm with my children all the time. I'm the best person I can be, but none of these things except the toilet paper stealing, which I did steal toilet paper, sugars, coffee, like the coffee packets. I would take
What
those all the
about
time.
ketchup, though?
Oh, fuck yeah. If they had them in packets.
Hell yeah.
If they had them in packets. Are you kidding? My kids would.
Wait.
I would come home
I
with
would
a
want a bottle.
smorgasbord for my kids of maraschino cherries, olives, lemons, limes, everything I could get at the bar.
Wait, there's ketchup packets at the comedy store.
For the little fast food when they started doing it. And not only that.
Oh, okay.
I think they're
You know what?
bottles
You know what?
now.
Let me be honest though. Yeah, I did used to steal lemons too from the. Not steal them. I'd go, hey Huck, I'm gonna grab a couple lemons. He's like, okay. Tommy, hey, I'm gonna grab some toilet paper. Dean, do you mind if I grab a couple rolls of toilet paper? But there was times I spent a couple nights in the main room at the comedy store when I didn't have a place to be. And so, but this is the thing. So, while they're doing this, I'm literally trying to figure out how to have a place for my kids, how to teach while I'm not getting paid by the district. All these things were going on. Well, they're doing this list. Now, here's the thing. If what I said about these people was untrue, call me out. Call me a piece of shit liar. Go, you got so much power to say it's a fucking lie. Prove it or you're banned. You know, or this and that.
This just seems so petty to me.
Huge.
It's just
Now,
so...
again, I don't know if it's real, but here's the thing.
Yeah, to me, it kind
There's a
doesn't seem
lot
real.
of, and there's a lot of people on here, including Dice, that are Jews and parents, and they are keeping me from making money. I put out things before saying, hey, if I'm not a good comic, if I'm not funny, like someone just say so. Even if you hate me, say so. Like just say you're not funny. Da 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 da. Why? And just tell me because I want to know that because it'll make me feel better about because I've submitted the Flappers one, the Flappers video, which is a 20-something minute video. It seems okay. I don't think it's fire, but I've seen what gets submitted and gets booked. I think it's good enough to get a booking from a club. I can't get a show. You know what?
Bro, you haven't tried Spokane or Tacoma Comedy Club?
Yeah, I have.
Have you?
Yeah, you name it, I've hit them up. Yeah, I've sent shit to everyone.
Acme in Minneapolis.
Yep,
It
I'm
just
not even
sounds-
kidding. I went through the entire list of clubs sending them stuff at different times.
This seems like almost like a mind game kind of thing of like somebody who really has an issue with you, like because what's the line? You know, like I don't like a lot of comics, but I'm not going to be like, oh,
You're gonna
I
go out of
heard
your
they
way?
did this. I'm not going to do this show because they're on it.
No, it's
You know, or you could just say like, oh, hey, do you have another date? You're doing that show. I'll hop on it then. But it's like to say, I will never. I mean, that just to me seems like, oh, you can't get over your own personal shit
If
to like
he's
let
there,
the
then
show
I'm
go
there.
on.
Well, watch this.
There.
What do you say? What do you say? Hey, here's the problem. This school teacher dad, Jewish guy, okay, said things about me. Ban him.
I don't care about your character.
No, what I mean though, but they had to make up a bunch
If you
of things.
fucking punched me in the face, I'd be like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable doing a show with him. But if you just make me uncomfortable or angry or whatever, I'm just gonna go to the show and then not talk to you.
Right.
Like, be
The
an
reason
adult.
Exactly.
the reason there is one woman's name on this list is because there is not a woman in comedy who could ever say they've been harassed by me.
Yeah.
They can't. No woman will ever call me misogynist. You can't ever look at my children how I raised them, and ever think I'm misogynist.
I'd
You
be
can't.
like, he's a dick.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not a misogynist.
Total asshole.
but
Total
not a
asshole.
misogynist.
I know that. I've never. But this is the
Bert,
problem.
that's a great T-shirt
No, but
idea,
watch
by
this.
the
Yeah,
way.
except for someone. Louis C.K. came up with it. Dennis Leary stole it. The asshole.
Damn.
No,
you say
I'm an
asshole, not
Oh
misogynist.
yeah, not a misogynist.
No,
not a
mine
dick, not
was
a
better.
racist, just
I'm
an
a
asshole.
dick, not a misogynist.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
do you see how my ideas
I like your
get
flip.
totally
No, I like the
overthrown?
flip.
Okay.
I like the genitalia.
Misogynist.
But no, here's the thing. So here's the thing is that
Always
but that's the thing is I am an asshole. That makes people insane. Why? Because if you can't come back at me, if you can't throw anything on me, you can't call me racist because you can't say I'm the white guy, I'm Jewish. You can't say I'm racist against certain people because, well, there's a lot of mix around me in my personal blood life. So you can't go after things. You can't do anything. I'm just a fucking asshole pricking you in the neck. You can't say anything. Jeff Garland used to call me his favorite teacher. What's he going to say? Fuck you, teacher guy. No, you'd have to come back at me with something accusational. You could never call me out for hurting women or doing anything because there's nothing. Everyone knows I've been a pothead my whole life. That's an easy thing to say. And
But
then you
also,
look at
like,
me, it's
who
easy
the
to call me a
fuck
drug
in
dealer.
the comedy community is like,
Right.
I don't know about this guy. He's selling weed. Who cares?
And I wasn't even selling it. I would get it in charge. I was almost like charging transportation costs.
Well,
Right.
what's really enough about that letter, too, is that you go across the country, send to other clubs. For L.A. clubs, we are a little bit more liberal, I got to say, for most of the clubs out of state, out of L.A. So when
You
they
see
read
drug
that,
dealer.
when you read that letter, it's like, oh, I don't want to deal with this shit.
And you know what? What happens, what a lot of people don't know about clubs is what happens as new bookers come in. They don't have the information. They have the name. Don't book. So as the years go by, it's just on a list of don't book.
Yeah.
And people, I don't know if people know that this exists in every club. A list of not booked. And so,
Clubs have that.
So yeah, but see, most of the people on these lists, it's for fighting, it's for drugs,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
for
yeah.
stealing, it's for real things. Nothing on here would be that. None of this is real except the toilet paper stealing. I totally did it all the time. And, but nothing else on here. I mean, to call me a deadbeat dad when the first 3 years I was full-time with both my kids. My ex was seeing them every other weekend. Then with my wife now and our child, I'm always there. I'm nonstop. But with my other two children, the only reason I don't see them here like every 3 days anymore is because they are teenagers and have no time for me, and it breaks my
They
heart.
don't wanna
I
see
want to
you.
cry in a corner. They love me, but they're busy.
No, they love you,
yeah,
but
they're
like,
busy.
But like, cool.
And I've never wanted them to be kids of divorce. Even though me and my ex are divorced, neither of us ever wanted them to have to give up their life because it's my turn, my turn.
Oh, of course.
And so at this age, we let them go do, they do their things, but it breaks my heart. But to be called a deadbeat dad, that bothers me because that's one thing I have. That's one of the many things that makes my life so happy is my children are amazing and they do love me. And I've been like they tell me you're the greatest dad, and I always tell them I am mediocre at best. But I am the greatest dad I can be.
Well,
And it's true. There's way better dads. Just I do my absolute best being the best dad I can be.
that letter is pure propaganda of not getting you booked.
But think about it. It's almost 13 years now. I'm unbookable. Now watch this, though. Prior to around this time, I was getting booked fucking everywhere. I was on all triple runs. All of a sudden, I can't get those either for a long time. And
Can't even get a
I didn't know
triple?
why. I had no idea why, what happened. I'm cut off of those. But it never hit me. That didn't hit me till right this fucking second. Because I haven't gotten in trouble forever. I even called him, and he's like, no, nothing I know of.
Oh wait, you mentioned Dalia, right?
Oh, this is the thing. So I said, Dalia and everyone on. No. Dalia's not on there. Just in my head, I thought he had to be.
Yeah.
I thought there's no way Dalia.
He's
the
the-
one
yeah.
dude I actually fucked with more than anyone. Called
How
him a
would you
joke
fuck with
thief.
him?
I called him a
Oh.
joke thief. I brought out the fact that his dad's fucking one of the biggest
rich.
producers in Hollywood. Like, is so connected. He couldn't fail. He tried to be an actor. It didn't work. He went into
I
comedy.
mean, he's gotten more booked than me.
The what?
more booked than me. Like,
Well,
his
no, it
orally,
was a
because his
guarantee.
dad
Well,
is-
and he-
yeah,
and he
because
Tommy
his
told
dad
me.
is,
No,
like, a
Tommy told me when he
huge
when he
thing.
was coming up at the Comedy Store, because we were about the same time. When he was coming to the Comedy
Yeah, I
Store,
heard- yeah.
Tommy told me he's a guarantee. He's in, and that's how I found out who his dad was. He goes, nah, he's been doing this to look like he's working. When he'd show up in the ripped clothes and stuff like that, acting like poor and doing all
Oh,
the black
jeez.
things. No, he was never around like all those black
Well, he didn't
jokes
even
he'd
write his
do and
own
everything
jokes
else.
either.
He never even wrote his own jokes. They were stolen. But the point being is, I get it. Why he would be on the list. He's not on the list.
But my question is, it's like, because I feel like we and I talked about this weekend at Lotus.
You guys are on the
and
list. No, I'm sorry.
I'm on the list.
We all
Yeah, we were
said
talking about
won't
Lotus, yeah.
perform with you. But yeah, it's like people say shit about me, and I'm like, I don't understand where it comes from. It's like,
Wait, you have a,
then
wait,
this,
what?
This is the thing. It's like, what do you do then? Like, what in this position you have this information now? Like, what good does it? What can
Nothing.
you do?
That's what I mean. The difference is, like, people talk shit about you, right?
Yeah,
I'm apparently throughout America.
those are all LA comics, though. We didn't
Oh,
do
no,
all
they
that.
aren't.
No, there aren't.
No, they
They're
just happen to be comics connected to the Comedy Store.
comics.
Ari
that are-
Shaffir
All right,
is
fuck
from New
Ari.
York.
Fuck Ari.
Yeah, but
Pauly
he's
Shore. I mean,
all of his time
yeah,
here.
no, they're all around here. But Garland.
All of those people are
But
here.
see, you got to remember. Watch this: Caparello, Shaffir, Garland,
Except
Bobby
Caparello,
Lee, Shore, Edwards, Rogan. I don't know about Richards anymore. I don't know if he's alive. Dice,
He's alive.
Kurt Fox, Whitney Cummings, and I don't know what Freddie's doing. I haven't seen him in a while. But the rest of them, they toured the world.
For sure.
So,
I get that.
so these names matter throughout. Like, I can't get booked in the Arabic Emirate or whatever it is, the AU or EU
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever.
EU, yeah.
Dubai.
Yeah, I mean, like these
Let's
people.
go to Dubai.
These people
Yeah.
supersede. But this is
I
the thing.
better get a podcast.
13. No, but this is the thing. I
Live.
was literally doing all this shit. I am like getting booked for so much shit, and I was like blowing up. Like I was literally thought I'm on. This is going to happen, and then all of a sudden, no bookings just dried up. And now you got to keep in mind, I was on a forward momentum, so it wasn't like I was 40 weeks. No. And then it was just cut off. No, it was that everything was building. I did Mexico. I was doing this. I did Amsterdam. I did all these different
Damn.
shows. Yeah, I was getting booked a lot through the Comedy Store, through people at the Comedy Store being there, people that came to the shows, people at the store, things like that. Then all of a sudden, dry.
Do you regret anything
Never.
then?
I never
people,
regret my life.
There's
people
no
were
regret.
telling you that you were running
Yep.
your mouth too much.
Yep. People were telling.
And you could have. Why not keep? If you knew it was going to affect your career in a way, in a sense of not being able to do what you love to do because you're honest, would you have rather have just kept those honest opinions to yourself?
No,
No,
I'll tell
you
you why.
shouldn't.
Let me tell you why.
No.
The movie. I mean, the
It's a
book
good
Night.
question
The
because I'm a
book,
good
the
interviewer.
book Night by Eli Wiesenthal.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Moshe comes back, escapes the concentration camps. Moshe was crazy somewhat, like a little off. Moshe escapes the concentration camp, goes back to his village to warn him what's going on. They laughed at him, told him shut up, whatever. But this man risked going back because it mattered. He was off. All of them would have just ran for freedom. He went back to warn people. They laughed at him and were all murdered.
Yeah, but you're
But wait,
not.
I'm not comparing myself to the concentration. What I said, it was a crazy comparison. What I'm saying
Like
is,
a Paul
no.
Revere
But
kind of
what I mean is, every moment of life is equal in the sense of if I didn't say what I felt, if I didn't say that this shit's wrong, it's wrong for D'Elia to get all this shit not based on talent. It's wrong for him to take jokes.
But you know that
It's-
You know that how the industry works.
Right. It's
I
still
guess
wrong.
what I'm saying is, like, if you were to give advice to somebody younger,
Oh, I always
who
tell
is
people,
a
shut your
who
fucking
is a
mouth.
truth
Yeah.
seeker.
I tell people, shut their
exactly.
fucking mouth.
You'd be-
Yeah.
When you be like,
It's different.
don't even worry about it.
Do you
Like,
think I raised
fuck
my
it.
kids to be
'Cause
like me?
Because nothing's gonna change.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
It's a hard
for these
life.
people.
It's been my whole life.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm the teacher who causes problems because I stand up for my students against the school, because I fight for my students not to be suspended,
My
not to
captain,
be
my
kicked
captain.
out. I've literally, I have gotten in like huge, I've had principals
I
try to shut me down.
know.
I had a guy at the district try to get me fired. But
What?
because as a special ed teacher, they want people to just get them done. Fuck that. I want my students to have everything they're supposed to have. And so when they try and suspend my students for something, cussing at a teacher, doing this, that's in their IEP, I fight like hell and I do not allow them. And I tell them I'll report it. And then they don't do it and things like that. And so I've always stood up for what I believe. It doesn't mean I'm righteous. It's just what I believe is righteous. And so if I stop at any point, then it would just crush it all.
Yeah, you're on this path.
So I like who I am now. If I could go way back in time,
well,
and not,
or if you were even giving advice to somebody.
if I could have stayed in Granada Hills and been that kid, no, I would be like my buddy working at some fucking oil refinery, living on the.
If you stayed in Granada Hills, we're not here. We're not doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean. None of this is happening.
Yeah.
And so for me, I love where my life is at. So I love everything I do, and I'll never regret it. But my children, I don't raise them to be. I like my son. Like, I would spit on referees during soccer. I would fight with people. I was ridiculous. Now, here's the thing. My son, this referee sucked.
17-year-old referees.
You go by and you shake his hand, and my son refused, didn't. And I went over and I told him, I said, I'm going to tell you something real quick. You're going to go over to him, and you're going to tell him you are so sorry. It was a moment, an emotion. I'd like to apologize. I didn't mean to disrespect you. And, again, I'm really sorry, and that won't happen again. And you're going to do that because that piece of fucking shit that we all hope dies of something will fuck you in another game. He will kick you out of the fucking game, and you know what? You won't play the game. He's a fat piece of shit. This guy happened to be, just so we know, old man who shouldn't be refereeing kids' games. He should go fucking die in the street.
I thought high schoolers referee
they don't let him.
games.
It's all Latin people are old men and they make money.
Really?
They pay these referees.
So are you
Really?
saying
Wait. So I teach him. So I taught him. You shut your fucking
play
mouth.
the game?
You shut your fucking mouth.
The game of whatever.
Yeah, you
but
shut your fucking
play
mouth.
the game of the politics of
Yep.
life.
Yep. And I'll tell you what. I'll bet you Snowden. And I'm not comparing myself. I'm saying on a much smaller scale. But I'll bet you Snowden would tell his kids to shut the fuck up. I'll bet you the dude who got blown up on everybody would tell their own kid to shut the fuck up.
It's too much of a burden to expose
Jesus
to
would tell his kids to shut. Hey, you know what? If you have a religious idea, keep it to your fucking self. Keep partying.
He has told his children to shut the fuck up. That's why
They don't
people
listen.
don't follow his ways.
No, don't preach. Yeah, that's what he says. Yeah,
I was living my life.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. So it's like if that were the case, yeah. So I can't being who I want to be. For me, my life is chosen. If this list keeps me from ever doing clubs and it won't keep me from getting out, but it's totally stunted me. And I realize it now through so many different things, like, wow. Like Jay Davis, when he told me. And that's what I thought. If Jay Davis can't book me, and him and D'Elia are good friends, like he always books D'Elia, and Dane Cook and D'Elia were good friends, and him and Dane Cook are like that, and all this. And some of the other people going to the club hated me. Sam Tripoli, people like that. And so you know what, Jay Davis was so cool, and he goes, I can't book you. Like people, you got problems. No, I love him, yeah. And I've never been mad about it, and I respect that. He said, I can't do it. I get it. You run a business. I'm not putting asses in the seats, man. I don't even, I have fucking 4 people who'd come see me, and that's my wife and my 3 kids, and they can't. Because she's got to be with them, and they can't get in. And that's why, in that sense. So even if I'm funny, I get it. They put asses in seats.
It's much more respectable, though, for somebody to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you rather somebody, if they're being weird to you, have you guys experienced this where you're like,
but
around a comic that you're cool with, and then all of a sudden they don't talk to you in front of certain people? I hate that, number one. I think it's bullshit. But I'd rather you just go
I can't fuck with you no more.
I'm trying to get in with this group of comics, and they don't like you, so I'm not going to talk to you. I'd respect that way more than me thinking I'm crazy and being like, "Yeah, what's up?" and then you saying that I'm nuts.
You're thinking everything's great.
Fucking just say I'm trying to kiss the ass of this social group, and they don't like you. So,
Mark wanted to chime in really. He's watching. He's watching us, and he actually agrees with a lot what you're saying.
Babzilla's watching.
And I love Babzilla.
Oh, by the way, I want to mention Julius Donat in New York at Broadway, and I hope I don't get him in trouble. But I do want to say he had no problem booking me. It was a showcase, and I appreciated it. Alex Carabana, but he's not a booker. Alex Carabana has a show in his restaurant, and it's a great show. But he booked me, and so I appreciated that a lot.
Yeah.
I just want to say that Julius Donat has the Broadway, or Dangerfields.
Oh, Dangerfields.
Yeah, and he had me come down, and that was badass.
That's awesome.
And I appreciated that. But but that's what I mean. But I have friends that have, I have colleagues, friends, things like that have been doing it a little less than me. That tell me I'm trying to work on getting like you.
Yeah.
And they're getting $1,500, $2,000, $5,000. Like I'm gonna get $75 for a gig I'm gonna do. They're getting $7,500, and they're like, this is stupid. And Jose's helped me. Jose Barrientos has helped me as much as he can. But see, that's the thing. Someone was telling me the other day that Garland had said something about Burger's doing shows here. And then that was the last time. That was the
Barber
last show I
shop
did with,
shows?
Oh,
I was with Lou
Flappers.
Santini. Yeah, I got made a regular there, and I was calling in, and pretty much like I'd call in, and I'd get, every week, every other week, or whatever, I'd get a spot. And so I did a thing with Lou Santini, and Jeff and them were there, or whatever, his group was there. And I don't know if he was there, but the group was there. And then next thing I know, I haven't been booked since. I called in like probably 15 times since.
Yeah.
Not one booking.
Well,
And
I was gonna say, Mark, I would say, is Hollywood, and especially the comedy scene, is a huge frat party.
yeah.
And if you talk bad about someone, they'll rat you out for it because they don't want their fantasy just to be gone.
Yeah. And they don't want people coming up. You know what it is? Most comics could give a fuck. They're going to do their own comedy. But
Yeah.
a lot of these comics who've gotten up in bullshit and hack shit and this and that, and they're not creative, and they didn't live a life, and they didn't get anything, and their only experience has been, through being rich already, and then being in comedy, and then this, and they've never, but they're talking about rough and top ramen and shit like this, and like that's what I mean. Fucking poor people do not eat fucking top ramen. I want people to know this.
You
You
don't.
know how fucking cheap beans are? No. Poor people. I don't mean people who are trying to achieve a goal and are struggling. That's fun. We're all camping. Poor people get fucking bags of beans
Yeah.
and rice.
Yeah.
They get real food with real nutrition that costs about the same as top ramen.
Yeah.
Because they shop. They go to bulk. They do these things. Poor people are not eating. Morons are giving their kids top ramen. Trashy ass people are giving their kid, like little kids, top ramen. It's poison.
Me, I'm giving myself top.
Yeah, no,
ramen.
but that's what I'm saying. A lot of
Not
comics eat the
recently.
top ramen, but that's what I'm saying. It's not poor. Poor is a sack of fucking rice, beans, shit like that, powdered milk. That's poor. That type of shit. But I don't know if anyone has powdered milk anymore.
Well,
but-
when
I hate
there's
powdered
comics that tell like, oh, like broke, I was 7-Eleven doing this and that.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, I see them on Facebook and they check in at an airport.
Yeah.
And they're flying somewhere.
They're flying
and I'm
home.
like, fuck
They're
off.
flying home all the time. Yeah, they're flying home.
They're
doing
flying-
it.
I'm gonna go see
so
my-
good
my-
to see the family. I love being on the
So
ranch.
you tell.
I never say that I'm poor, and like I see comics who always complain about being poor, and I cannot afford to go home, and my parents would be like, "Well, why don't you just like?" And I'm like, "I don't have any money. I can't do it."
Well-
and then I see somebody who's like, "I'm so poor. I'm living in my car. I'm doing this." At the fucking airport. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you afford
Yeah.
that then?
I told you there were comics I called out for that bullshit, being fake ass homeless. Mac Lindsay was a big one. That was the thing.
Oh, yeah,
So all
you
these
told me
fake
that.
idols, like people thought Mac was so cool at first, and then
Because he was poor?
no, he wasn't. He's part of the Lindsay Fortune, multi billions of dollars.
Did he pretend to be
Oh,
poor?
totally. Came out here with almost no tattoos. By the time he was done, he was from face, neck, and head down.
Tattoos are expensive as fuck.
Yeah, that's what people don't get. That's what people don't get. Not only that, I like looking things up. So I found out who he was, and it was a thing. And see, he kind of always had a problem with me. It was an energy thing. But I realized I knew what it was. Is I am the real version of what you pretend to be. You're the extreme fake version, but you're a druggie. You're doing these crazy things. You're living in a place in Skid Row, but you have the option of getting a penthouse. And so there was a lot of people in comedy like that because what people don't understand about comedy is you got to be a wretch or you got to be rich. Meaning most people can't go do shows and hang out and fuck around and go to bars and
They want to go to
we
Cantor's
would have
after
to
with
be
whose
getting ready.
money?
Talmo's right now. He's trying to move up the corporate ladder. He's trying to get set up. His wife's bitching. No. What I mean is, if you had to live regular life, you couldn't be a comic.
No, you can't be a comic.
So comedy is.
I'm working 6 days a week.
That's the thing. That's why you're not out networking and having fun. You run your shows. You get the fuck home. You go to your shit, you get the fuck home. You spend most of your life at comedy or bar comedy, whatever.
Bar comedy,
But
home.
That's the thing.
Work, bar comedy, home.
And
That's what I do.
And I can go to the comedy store because my parents will give me money.
Well, but you know what though? There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not.
It's-
But I mean that in all honesty, it's
Yeah.
like
and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just when people come out and pretend the other, and that's why I say, like I
some
said,
people will want me to pretend to be poor, and I'm like,
I had
Yeah.
the poorest moment last night at the show at the Karma Lounge. I bought a PBR at the bar for like $4, and then I
love Karma Lounge. By the way.
Is it PB's or
amazing.
Karma? Which place?
It was a Karma.
Okay.
He went to Karma.
Okay.
Yeah, last night. And apparently, I only have $4 in my bank account. So apparently, like, I buy the drink, and then Jake Bunny, the bartender, comes up. He's like, "All right, so you know that we have a $5 minimum, right?"
Oh fuck.
And I was like, um, I
What
only
do you
have $4
do?
on my account, dude, on my card. He's like, "Oh," and he did the same shifty eyes.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Do you have cash?" No.
No.
And I just awkwardly dug through my wallet, knowing nothing.
Knowing you
was
had
there.
nothing, yeah.
Right.
And
Let me see if anything grew.
And then I look up with basically the manliest puppy eyes I could.
You have great
Look,
puppy eyes.
And he's like, and he's like, fine, I'll cover it. Just Venmo me the money when you get home.
Venmo.
I Venmo'd him
I mean, if I were in a
$4.
position to
Venmo?
like help out like a friend, I would just give them the $4
it's the bank
beer.
app where you wire money
yeah,
from
you
your
send
account.
Well,
to
Bunny's
theirs.
the bartender
Yeah.
though, so I kind of get that.
But
Like
Yeah,
the
so
bartender.
Bunny's
yeah, but if I
amazing.
see
Yeah, Bunny's a
people-
great guy,
if
yeah.
I
see
felt
people on the
so
comedy
poor.
scene, I would just fucking do
That was the
it. No,
poorest moment
Oh.
I've had.
I've
I'm
had
having
poor
my-
moments.
I'm having my. You guys know I'm having my poor moments as I have had to get a sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy.
But, you know, I'm working through it. I just used to have a job where I like made more money, and now
I
I'm
used to
Now
make
you make more money.
Now I'm unemployed.
No, but now you make
Come on,
more
I
money.
used
I'm
to
not
make
making more
$7.50
money.
a
I'll tell
week.
you about it after.
Oh yeah, oh we'll talk. Yeah,
I
that's
used to
funny.
make $7.50 a week at my old job. Like I was rolling,
But that's
but
that.
this is way more
But
important.
that's the
Well,
thing.
yeah.
It's art.
It's chasing a dream.
We're chasing a dream.
Yeah, Talmo's seen me where Talmo's bought me drinks,
Yeah.
kicked me cash, things like that when I was going through shit where me and my family were homeless.
I've done it to a lot of people, and I've struggled. I was a general manager, guys. I actually ran 2 restaurants in L.A. when I moved here, and then when that whole company collapsed, and I just wanted to find another job, which I was living off unemployment, which is stupid. It's the stupidest thing I actually realized is drug, because you're addicted to going off of something that is not yours. I like to earn my money. I like to earn it.
No, but I mean, well, I haven't done unemployment, but I did
That's me.
like the EBT stuff, and I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
that was nice because that I don't think I ever ate better because
No,
I didn't spend that much money.
But you don't want to be dependent on it.
Yeah, exactly.
that's the
because
thing.
that's the problem. Like,
The problem with society in general.
what's fucked up is if you help people, like I have helped plenty of people in the past when I
Mm-hmm.
had a job and like whatever. Now I'm like super broke.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even think of a person who I'd helped out who would help me out back.
Oh, I don't make a lot of money, but I work hard for my
But I
money.
don't think you have
so.
to have a lot of money. To me, it's like if I have this little bit, or if it's gonna help me to like buy you a drink so you can do a mic, like I would do that.
I'll
I've
take
been
take care of
depending
people.
on, like focus groups and like paid gigs. Like not like maybe a few paid, but like focus groups.
The goal is to to make an income of what you do and how much you love what you're doing. If you make an income on that,
Well,
That
that's
is-
why this is okay. This is my shit about the sugar daddy thing because it's like crazy to me that people
Sugar
think
daddy.
that it's like so like kind of you don't respect yourself, but it's like, oh cool, I can't afford my bills, but I have my dignity. Like, I'd rather just be able to pay my bills. Like,
Right, yeah.
like I don't really give a fuck what you think.
That's my problem in life. Is I'd rather fucking just die in the street. Like I mean.
That is your problem.
Oh no, I know that because
Sugar mamas are
I
awesome.
grew up my whole life knowing how to manipulate people, knowing how to run scams,
If
knowing
you-
how to run everyone.
If you could date like
Don't
a
want to.
good-looking girl, woman who would give you some money every now and then, you wouldn't do it.
well,
if you weren't married.
let's see. I had a $25,000 Harley Davidson.
So you
I
dated
went to
women that
Amsterdam
have
and
given
Hawaii
you
and a
big
girl.
gifts. I've never been in any
Uh,
situation where a guy
yeah.
has given me gifts.
Yeah, but
Like,
you know what I would
at
tell
all.
them? No, but here's the thing. The girl who
The shark
bought me the
tooth.
Harley, and I had a girl buy me
I remember
and
that.
things like that. But she bought my daughter a $250 jade
remember-
bracelet,
yeah.
all that shit, right? And every girl that ever did it, I told them you're stupid. Like, why you'd buy me shit? It's I mean, I'm not gonna say no to something, but you know what? You're dumb because it doesn't do anything for me. I'm not gonna be with you. I already told you I'm not monogamous. I'm not looking for a relationship. It's not gonna happen. They'd be like, oh, okay, and then sooner or later they'd be like, well, why not?
Well, they were
Like,
trying
I'm
to-
not lying,
But
you
they
know?
were trying to buy your affection.
Yeah.
I'm saying if there were a situation where they were like, hey, I just want your company, I'll give you some money for your company. I don't see how you can turn that down.
No, either
You
one, but I
can't.
would have to be honest.
Like-
as long as it's honest. Well, okay, I got to tell you, honestly, no. I lived with a girl one time. She was working, I wasn't. She covered everything. It killed me inside. And it's not a chauvinistic thing. It's a me man thing. Not that she can't make more than me. A woman can make more than me. She could have a better job, everything else. What I can't be is a leech. And so it bugged me too much. So I got to say,
But
no.
that's not leeching, though, because you're giving your
time, my
energy,
emotion,
effort, all of that
which I
stuff.
can't ever give unless I want to.
Yeah, but
That's
I mean,
my problem.
the guy that I'm seeing is pretty cute.
If
so
I agree
whatever,
with
fuck
you.
it.
No, I'm a schmuck. I get it. I'm an
I
idiot.
just don't appreciate. Like, it's just well to me. It's like, oh, would it be more dignified if I like fell in love with him and then married him and then took him for like half of his money later on? Like, no,
No,
it's just like he
neither-
wants to. Hang
Wait,
out
what are we
with me,
talking
I'm
about,
gonna
Mac
hang out with him,
Lindsay?
he's gonna Give me some money. Cool.
No.
Neither one.
Huh?
No.
Neither
okay.
one is immoral or undignified.
I just
Meaning,
think I have skills that are not.
well, it's each person's choice. But that's what I'm saying. If I was like that when I was younger, with short hair and in better shape and everything, then I would have let some dudes fuck around with me to get the parts.
I haven't fucked around with him at
No,
all.
not you. I'm saying like a lot of people. I would have
I'll
done
tell
those
you guys
things.
when I fuck
Yeah,
with
no, but I'm saying I would have done
It's
things
gonna happen.
and all that. It's just I can't shut my mouth. I couldn't say what someone wanted me to say to
But you're
save my
not
own
saying
life.
what anybody wants you to say.
No, I'm saying I couldn't. Like, if someone had a gun on my head and they're like, "You need to say this or you're dead," fuck you, and I'd be
but
an
that's
idiot
not,
who'd die.
But that's comparing apples and oranges. I'm saying like you. Now I made this all about me, of course.
What's right?
No, I'm just saying it's like you go out, you have some things in common. You were like, we went on a first date. It was
Yeah.
like cool, just like any other first date. I would expect a guy to pay.
But how do you feel about the whole thing?
I feel great
Then
about
there you
it.
go. That's all that matters.
But it's like me and Anna were just talking about like what other people think and like keeping your dignity or whatever. And it's like, oh, now I have
There's no
to
dignity.
walk around everywhere because I have dignity and I'm
keep your
sweating.
dignity. You need your dignity.
I have my
Your
dignity and I
means-
have some.
Your dignity means you don't give a fuck what they think because you have dignity.
Yeah.
No,
he's-
but I know that I'm doing it also in
My
like
dignity isn't based on what they think.
With what I would no dignity, I think is well.
It's based on what you think
It's
dignity
a combination of the two, don't you think?
is. Well, it's if you let it be. This is what I'm saying. Is
No.
I don't care what anyone thinks. You know the one.
You do care. You just
No.
read a letter about people who
No.
don't want to fucking work
I
with you.
can't- no, not work. Not work with me. That's
letter
what I
was
want
written
done
by a
right.
sixth grader, by the
Is
way.
they will not do the club if I ever get a gig there.
Right.
Ever.
Wait,
in
here's the
terms
thing.
of working
No,
with
I
you.
don't care that they have this. I don't even, it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is if this is keeping me from putting more food on my kids' tables, from making some more money for my children, that's a problem. Like that
Right.
for people like Dice, people with children, for people who who Ian Edwards who
You
met my
see
kid.
Dice's kid.
Yeah, and Ian Edwards who met my kid. You know, I mean, people like that. Freddie Lockhart, who knows I have kids, and Freddie Lockhart knew when I had to live with PJ because I was going through the school thing, and I was living there, and my kids had to be with my ex, and I would go and on the weekends get hotel rooms because I couldn't have them there with all the drugs and everything.
But what I'm saying is what it's showing me is that it's like you can think whatever you want to think about yourself, but the reality of living is also the combination of what other people think of you.
Okay.
Nobody ever listens.
No, I was listening to you. He kept doing this thing where he rolled his hand nonstop.
It's my job.
Very ADD.
It's
Okay,
my job.
so we'll end with this. But I want to
made
hear
a
it.
really
I want to
good
hear it.
point,
I
and
want to hear it
nobody
again.
fucking-
I want to hear
This
it
is
again. I'm
logistics.
telling you. Say it again.
This is logistics.
I said I think that the reality of like this list or anything that anybody chooses to do is you can have your own perception of what you're doing in your mind.
Yeah.
That's true to yourself, but the reality is other people still have their own opinions, and it could have a force on your life and how that plays out.
And are you willing to accept the consequences?
But
And
what
yes,
are you going to do with what are you going to do about this?
be righteous my whole life.
So you just don't give a fuck about.
I'd rather be righteous than
Because there's
famous.
nothing you can do
Yeah.
at this point.
No. Well, yeah. There's a lot. You know what? In all honesty, people I know and the way I grew up, there's a lot I could fucking do. It's nothing I will do.
That's not what I mean.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a
Not
lot.
what I
But that's what I'm saying. They want to play their game that way. I grew up, like in the projects.
We're gonna take
There's
it
a
to
lot of
Pacoima.
games. But I'm saying there's a lot of games I could play back. I won't do that. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
So to me, this is what I'm saying is, yeah, they can do this, and nothing's going to change about it. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care about being famous, but I'm going to bring it out because that's what it was. Now, in
especially
the end,
with that, with nothing to lose.
well, and the point is, it's
You're gonna do comedy your way.
That's it. What?
You don't have anything to lose now because you're already blacklisted.
But I've never cared anyway.
You're doing your own comedy
How could
anyway.
you not care?
I
You're
just
doing
don't.
something that you love. How could you not
I
care? Even
still
a
do
little
what
bit?
I love.
Just be honest and say you
No,
at
no.
least care because you've been trying to do those other places and frustrated. You're like, why can't I get booked
Yeah,
there?
now I know.
Just be honest and say like it irritates you a smidge. I'm sure.
No. What I'll tell you what irritates me is it keeps me from making more money for my kids.
That's
Yeah.
irritating.
Yeah. Now, but what I'm saying is I don't take it as a personal thing. Like, I mean, well, personal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like going to sit there in a corner and be upset about it. I could
Right,
care
right.
less.
Beat
I'm
yourself
going to
up.
go rock on with my wife, my young wife. I'm going to go rock on with my wonderful children. I'm going to go live my life and have a good time. And I'm going to live and I'm going to die. None of this is that significant in that whole scheme.
But if it hinders you from being able to provide or whatever, that is
Which, thank
irritating.
God, I have an education. That's the thing,
Yeah.
is where I'm not the same, where I'm not in a position where people like this can destroy me completely.
Right.
Comedy is not my only thing. I love teaching. So I'll be a thrilled teacher. Okay, Theo's going to have a fucking coronary. All right.
Jesus, Theo.
So to end
You're
off,
too young for that.
Yeah. So to end off,
Not
what I
with
will
this
say,
job.
though, what I'm going to
Not
say,
with this job.
what I'm going to say in the ending is just that, you know what?
Oh, you have the kill yourself award,
Okay,
too.
but if that's the case,
Is it the
I don't
list?
have the banner, so we're going to skip it this week. Everyone on there can kill themselves.
Oh, I have a guy in mind.
Okay, you can do it. You got it this week. But all I'm going to say in the end is it's simply this. If this is what you're doing, that's fine. It doesn't matter. But it's a sad thing in life that if these people really did it. Now, I'm really hoping that a lot of these names are fake because that's at a far extent to go. But you know, whatever it is, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna still talk my shit.
I just want to acknowledge that, like, why is it not okay to just be like, you know what? It's not cool that this person said this, or like, I'm offended, or my feelings a little bit hurt that this person's on the list. Like,
Oh, I
'cause
said
I have
that.
people who
I
talk
said
shit
I was
about
crushed.
me. I know, but it's like you also then try to like act like you're totally unaffected. And
Courtney,
it's like, why can't we have both?
It's
Oh, no,
it's
it'll
power.
never change me is what I mean.
It's power. It's
well,
power.
Everybody, people who are peers in our community who don't like us or say bad things about us, they do have power.
If they
People
were
say
saying I
shit
wasn't
about
funny?
me all the time, and it really
Wait.
fucking irritates me. I talk to Berger about this all the time.
But wait, if this said I wasn't funny,
But it doesn't matter.
It would
but
bother me.
that bothers me more. I'd
Yeah.
rather somebody say it wasn't funny than say that, like, make up something about me.
oh no,
You know what I mean? That
No, no,
bothers me
this-
more.
What this says is they don't have anything. They had
Yeah,
to
but
make
they're
up
making
stuff.
up bullshit.
Well, the
That
toilet
would
paper
bother
thing's
me.
true.
Yeah, deadbeat dad.
But that's what I mean. The toilet paper thing's true. Other than that, nothing on there is
So
true.
it does bother you.
No, what
It's
I'm saying.
okay to say something bothers you.
Okay, listen. What I'm saying is, it busts my heart to see Freddie Lockhart on here. It busts my heart to see Dice on here, only because even no matter what I said, you know, it was that really bugs
I
me.
would just like to acknowledge it.
Yeah,
It
no,
does
those two
hurt
that
you,
busts
yeah.
my heart
Like, fuck,
because
it sucks.
why would you be on there? Now, but what I'll say is nothing's going to change what I do. I'm going to still be me, and I'm going to still accept every consequence for it.
For sure.
If they were saying, like I said, that this guy's a problem, like he's fighting people, he's harassing
They
women.
did say that.
No, fighting people, harassing women. They said I was a thug, but they never said anything I did, and I never did anything.
But there are so many implications with words that you can
Mm-hmm.
say, and like that's my issue. It's like I don't think people think that it's weak to just go like, you know what, these people said this about me. It's not true, and it fucking sucks, and I don't like it. I don't think there's anything weak about saying that. It
No.
just sucks.
I just don't like it's keeping me from gigs. The one that broke
Exactly,
my heart
that
was that's what I
sucks.
said was fucking and Ian Edwards. That one really hurts me. That's what I say. Because wow. But okay, so let's wrap this up, guys. You want to do the quick kill yourself? Go for it. I don't have.
Yeah,
a
you
band.
know who should kill themselves this week? The 18-year-old Florida teen who was a neo-Nazi and then converted to Islam and killed his neo-Nazi roommates.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was
think he- I thought
poetic
he was
justice.
great, yeah.
No, I thought he was
How
great.
did
Yeah,
I
liked him.
miss this?
I liked him. No, some neo-Nazi became a Muslim, then killed his neo-Nazi buddies. I thought that was the greatest
Two
harm I
of
ever.
them, yeah.
Yeah, you got killed by hate.
And then now he's like
Yeah.
in jail. He like
Yeah.
held
That's like a
people
black
hostage.
hole.
And
As everything
before
collapses.
he did that, he like before he shot his roommates, he was holding up a smoke shop.
Yeah, well, he was keeping them hostage. Or
Wait a second. Hold on. Have you seen the prices of cigarettes? Again, hero. Yeah, win-win. Yeah. Hey,
Hero.
guys, I'm Burger Podcast. Thank you for joining episode 36. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you fucking next week. We might be in Anaheim. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Bye.
And remember, don't talk shit to anyone, I guess.
Talk shit about everybody.